Good people, good people, good people. You know, I was having a positivity march. I was. I was sticking by positivity that I was going to stay positive all the month of March. No more exposing, no more suppliers, no more, you know. I've been listening to the angel on my shoulder, and I picked a bad day to make the title "So and So is an Idiot" because I was trying to cut my hair, and I slipped and hit my eyebrow. So I'm an idiot as well, allegedly. But God, bro, this is one of the times where I actually got so annoyed by something that was sent to me. I had to go live. I had to go live immediately, bro. Uh, Skeptical Aquatics. Now, me and Skeptical, we've been friends. You know, I appreciate someone out there that's being skeptical. I think that whole questioning stuff is fun. But there's been this disturbing trend with him. I've been trying to ignore it because it's Positivity March. Okay, I've been trying to ignore it. People send me like, "Did you see he said this? Hey Jody, what's up? Did you see he said this?" And I'm like, yeah, whatever. Till someone finally sent me the video that just, it put me over the edge, bro. I can't listen to this person be so confidently wrong, and it's so cringe because he always talks about the echo chamber and the matrix, and then he just says shit that is not true, like easily proven to not be true, and I can't take it anymore. So the video that kind of pushed me over the edge, we'll get into that. Maybe I'll go. I want to keep it brief, lighthearted. You know, hit it with the rage bait title a little bit, but like actually, I am actually really annoyed. But Skeptical Aquatics, he made a video busting the myths about fungus on fish eggs. And obviously, the video is like an hour long. We're not going to go through even close to the entire thing. I'll just kind of skip around. But it really only takes like one Google search to get to the bottom of whether or not this is worth listening to. And the main premise of it is in the description. So it's kind of nice because I don't even have to like set up the scene. He kind of wrote a nice little description in there for us. So let's go ahead and transition over. Okay. And I got my incognito window open, of course. Boop 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 boop. And all right. So Skeptical Aquatics. Dun, 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 dun. Wait, where'd it go? Is it alive? Okay, fish.
You can save hundreds with liver.
Busted. In the description, I discuss breeding egg-laying fish and the common misconception. Well, first of all, he basically discusses breeding 1 or 2 egg-laying fish. It's not like he went through and tested like 20. I mean, fish have pretty different eggs with different attributes. So already off to a terrible start. That fuzzy bacteria or fungus is bad for the eggs and can ruin perfectly good eggs from hatching. Okay, bro. This is true. Like, bacteria or fungus is bad for eggs and can ruin eggs from hatching. Bro, there's a whole aquaculture industry that's built around how do we prevent the fungusing of eggs. It's a big problem. Like there was not a mass hysteria event where everyone has just totally imagined this problem. Like fish fungus, the fuzzy fungus, it's real. It has a name. Like, you can't just talk out of your ass every day. I can't take it anymore, bro. I can't take it. Like, and the worst part is,
Liberty.
you open up the video, He's playing the damn Matrix. If you take the red pill, if you take the blue pill, like this is some kind of conspiracy that he's exposing. The only thing he's exposing is the lack of brain cells going on.
After the live,
There is no turning back. You take the blue pill.
I don't want to get copyright stricken, but I just want to take a look at this, bro. This is what he's calling biofilm. Dog. This is... It has a name. Say its name. Say its freaking name. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Someone else try and say this. Okay? Let's Google. Wow. Saprolegnia. Wow. I probably said that horrendously. Let's see what Wikipedia says. I just want to make sure we're on the same page here. How do you pronounce this? Pronounce. Okay.
Saprolegnia.
Saprolegnia. I never would have guessed that, honestly. I never would have guessed that. Saprolegnia. Oh, you got it. I don't remove fungus eggs, and I could listen, bro. We haven't even gotten to that. First of all, this is wrong, okay? And he's talking out of his ass completely. Meanwhile, if you want to take the time to read, to learn, I of course have sources. Great paper deciphering the microbial landscapes of fish eggs to mitigate emerging diseases. I'll put the link to this in the chat if anyone's interested in reading. Fish eggs, fungus, and diseases affecting eggs is definitely real. It's definitely not a conspiracy. It's not a result of the echo chamber. It's the result of idiocy. Okay, but let me finish the description. I discussed breeding egg-laid fish are the common misconception that fuzzy bacteria or fungus is bad for eggs. It literally is. I just... Bro, the substrate of an egg, like, there's a reason why you don't really want to scratch them up too much for some of them and things like that, because it's actually a good substrate for mycelium, things like, as Jody put in there, saprolegnia. Thank you for the helpfulness. It actually is a problem, and they have limited amounts of defenses against stuff like that. And happen to have done a lot of reading about it because I happen to be into breeding fish, and I have a lot of fish eggs. This is literally anti-science horseshit, bro. It's not even bullshit. This is horseshit. It's the dumbest shit I've read. It's the first thing that he's made that I couldn't ignore just because it was so obviously wrong and stupid. And I hate the fact that he's constantly like, it's the echo chamber, break out of the matrix. Like, bro, this is fungus, you donkey. Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. Okay, so I put my first source in the chat. You know, you guys can read. I think you guys could probably read. EMOJI Man. I have my doubts. Here's another fun paper about saprolegnia. I'm never gonna be able to say it, bro. But about fungus and trout eggs. And yes, Bob, you are right. Fish. Oh, thank you for bringing that up, bro. How the hell are we having the good parrotfish smart enough to know that they need to eat the bag eggs to keep them from killing the good eggs, but this bozo with his 20 ugly substrateless takes breeding CPDs wants to talk about, don't worry about the fungus. Oh my god, bro, he's dumber than a fish. Which, no insult to fish. Fish are smart, but my god! Oh my god! Can we just use our brains? Can we? Why am I going this hard? Because this is someone that makes a whole channel around being critical of people, and they act like they're breaking some kind of matrix, some kind of echo chamber, when most of the time, it's just bad information. It's just fucking terrible. I can't believe it. And I'm actually annoyed. I've been trying to ignore this shit. I don't want to give this any attention. But bad information is actually a problem. Like, I don't want people that are new to aquariums and stuff thinking they should just ignore the fungus on their eggs, bro. Am I saying that if you have a fungus egg in there, every single egg will not hatch? Yada, yada, yada. I saw some people say, oh, I have fungus. Like, bro, I'm not in there picking out every single damn fungus egg, but trust me, if there's a buildup of fungus in there and you don't do anything about it, you're going to have significantly worse results. Literally, the fish understand this. If you watch any good parent cichlid, they will eat the fungus eggs. They don't do it just out of the kindness of their heart. They're doing it to protect the rest of the eggs. Anyway, let me finish the description. Alright, unfertilized or even damaged eggs are broken down by bacteria in the fish tank and in nature. That creates a biofilm that's an incubator of bacteria. The biofilm you see... Okay, this fuzzy coating, bro, this is fun. This is not biofilm. I hate to break it. I hate to break it to you. This is fungus. So it's just so hard even to get through the description of the video. It's before you start the video, it's so wrong. Before you even start. So this is actually, I can bring up another source, aquariumscience.org. We don't even have to go into a deep paper for this, okay? What is the thing that they describe when you look up how to determine infections and stuff, if fungal bacteria? What is the thing they always describe it as? A fuzzy, fluffy, cottony coating, almost like like he literally describes here. And you see it on fish. That's because it can affect fish as well as the eggs. So it's not like it's it only affects the eggs. Like, no, this is a fungus that's around, and it's definitely fluffy. Bro, I'm trying not to go too crazy. My God, bro. Steve, help me out, Steve. All right, the biofilm you see is a fuzzy coating that some believe, spelled wrong, is harmful to the good eggs. This film, in my experience, has no effect on viable eggs and does not... Okay, let's just... Does fungus eggs affect viable eggs? Research paper. Let's find out if he's right. Huh. First result from the National Institute of Health. Vertically transmitted microbes protect eggs from fungal infection and egg flora. Okay, this is interesting. So this is the transfer of those egg protective bacteria, blah, blah, blah. So this is when the fish actually lay it, the egg. This is something I've actually read before. It can help protect the eggs against fungus. Now, things like this are disrupted when they get scratched and stuff like that. But it's another way that this is actually with lizards, not fish. But why are they trying to protect the egg against something? Here we look at this. Here we examine ones inoculated with antifungal microbes from the mother's cloaca. Eggs that did not contract, removed by dissection, blah blah. Why is the mother expending this energy to provide the eggs antifungal properties? It's almost like the eggs are dangerous. Okay, let's keep on going. We have embryonic eggs as alternative infection model to investigate. Okay, this is too many words for me to go over. Okay, but this is they show the age of the embryos affects susceptibility to certain kinds of fungus. All right, so this is another thing about eggs and fungus and different thing. Frogs. Let's put fish here, just so we get fish. All right, this is one with the isopods. I've read this one before. You know, I happen to actually read about eggs and fungus quite a bit. Here they're trying to use hydrogen peroxide to treat eggs to protect against fungus. Why does everyone use methylene blue, which I actually am not a huge fan of? Fungus. Here we have microbial control. We have humic acid. And right here, mortality during the incubation of eggs from a contamination by water molds. Do we recognize this name here? It's almost like I've seen it before. And common aquatic pathogens is ubiquitous in water, results in annual production losses in the hatchery production of rainbow trout. All right, so I'm not gonna beat a dead horse here, but like, yes, I'll put a link to this in the chat. You can read it. But safe to say, yeah, fungus and fish eggs is a problem. It is a problem. Okay, the biofilm you see is a fuzzy coating that's something harm. Okay, remember that. No effect on viable eggs and does not spread. Yeah, okay, that's completely wrong. In this video, I show the fry that I've hatched in a container. So, yeah, you can hatch eggs, and first of all, a couple of reasons why this is a horrendous example. I'm going to assume off of what these eggs look like and the fact that I've seen no really evidence of them breeding fish besides celestial pearl danios. I'm gonna guess is celestial pearl danio egg. I've bred celestial pearl danios. Their eggs hatch relatively quickly. I've had them hatch as quickly as 3 days. One reason this is a terrible example is that some eggs take a lot longer to hatch. So maybe if the eggs are hatching in 2 to 5 days, you might get some eggs hatching. It might be fine. You might not notice the effects as much. But when you have something like a killifish or something where the eggs are incubating for a week or longer, you're going to have more chance to actually see that take effect. Okay, so already, like, yes, if the eggs are hatching quickly, a lot more are going to escape by than if they're sitting in that container for a long time with fungus. Now, it's so funny. I will not be able to show it, but I have this container. I had eggs in here. There was a bunch of fungus building up. I've been meaning to get to it. I didn't. There's no eggs in there anymore. Listen. Listen. It was some killifish eggs that take I think 14 days. It was aphysimian. You can't just ignore it. I don't know the science behind it. I just know what I've been doing for a long time. I don't feel the need to intervene. I mean, that's nice and all. I appreciate the anecdotal evidence, but we're not here to discuss. I'm talking about the facts, okay? I'm talking about the facts. You may have a water, you may have a pH, a temperature, maybe the pseudomycoluminous eggs themselves are better against whatever pathogens are in your water. That may be your particular case, but as a whole, in general, fungus with fish eggs is a huge problem. And the fish aquaculture industry is a massive industry that has a lot of money into it. We look at it in terms of aquarium fish, but a lot of people rely on food made from farm-raised fish, and they're not putting all this money and research into trying to prevent eggs from being destroyed by fungus for no reason. So I'm not here for the anti-science shit. We're just gonna cover our eyes and pretend that the truth isn't the truth. Like, I'm sorry, bro. I'm here to talk about the facts. And the facts is, this entire description is a disaster. Okay? A total disaster. He said he was CPD. Some tanks I feel like I can't overfeed, and some tanks every leftover piece gets that same white fuzzy. Why? You know what? That is actually something that I've noticed. I've noticed as well. There's 2 tanks in particular that the food has been getting that. Now, my thought was just that things aren't eating it quickly enough. But that's a good thought. I need to look into that. Look through the channel and all the AI and clickbait racing. Yeah, I almost made the thumbnail AI art just to like be extra petty, but I was like, nah, let me just make it the emoji. But yeah, that's another reason why I'm going so hard, because this whole channel is like clickbait, going after other people, and the whole time the attitude is that it's some kind of like innovative approach. And again, I like, even if he's totally wrong, I like having someone that's hating all the time. It shakes things up. It's entertaining. It's interesting. I like, personally, someone sending me one of his videos, and then we're like, oh, let's discuss. You know, it's a conversation starter. And then, you know, if it's totally idiotic, I get a good laugh. But, okay, Salient Aquatics, what's up? Featherfin. I read that blue Galaris eggs are very susceptible to fungus. Did you run into that when you were breeding them? Yes. So a lot of the Galaris strains, and Black Planet Tank can back me up in the chat, but a lot of them they lay so many eggs, but they have a big reputation for laying a lot of infertile eggs. And infertile eggs go bad, they fungus, and yes, that can transmit to other good eggs in the same tray. So please, for the love of God, please, fungus is bad for fish eggs. Do not listen to this mumbo jumbo. He's totally talking out of his ass. I haven't even gotten to play the video yet because this description is so egregious. All right. Let's see if we can play like a few seconds in a moment. Black Planted said, Branton, I'm glad you have that result. Just because some eggs aren't susceptible doesn't mean fungus isn't bad. And yes, bad eggs are more susceptible to fungus than good ones. Yeah. Hey, Jody, Brian. Y'all see Fish Lab's dry Cory egg hatching strategy. That's in my watch later. I have not watched it yet, but I have been kind of curious about if more fish eggs can be dried out. What's up, a couple of fish? Anyways. Whew. Sorry, I feel like I just got so much out. All right. I'm gonna try and play a few seconds of this, but I feel like most of what I really had to say about was in the description. But maybe we'll go to some of his other videos because this man's been spewing terrible information, and I don't want to give it any attention. But then at the same time, it's like a trade-off. Do I let harmful misinformation be propagated, or do I just ignore it? This was the first video where I felt like it was so bad I didn't have to. I was actually laying in bed. I was probably going to go to sleep. But I was like, damn, I was triggered. I can agree with that, Black Panda. Maybe I've been lucky so far, but that has been my experience. I've watched that. I thought he said it wasn't something he'd continue to do. And my tanks, look, I'm going to tell you all you need to know here what you need. Okay. Tank plus water plus fish plus filter equals hobby and enjoyment done. I mean, I generally think that's a great sentiment. I can't be mad at. So yes, different fish eggs do have different levels of susceptibility to fungusing. That has to do with all sorts of things. Some fish like apistos and some blackwater fish, like their eggs aren't even really good or viable in the wrong conditions. So you have some eggs that are just more sensitive to things and are more prone to just not hatching or fungusing if they're on the right water. And then you have some eggs that are more delicate than others. There are some killifish eggs that I could probably pick up, throw across the room, throw the other across the room, put in the water, and like they'd never be broken. And then Cory eggs. Cory eggs are pretty crazy durable. I usually just slide them off the glass with my finger. So that's another thing is like, besides the fact that, the whole premise of this video, which the common misconception that this is not a misconception. Like, it is true that bacteria and fungus is bad for eggs. Like, fungus in eggs is bad, and it can ruin good eggs. Anyways, I already went through that, but you can't generalize all eggs anyway. So even if I were to entertain this thought experiment that, this could be true, it's not applicable to eggs really do vary that much in kind of their characteristics and how they act. Had a cockroach fall in an angel grow tank. They ate it. Pretty sure it made them super angels, bro. Well, I mean, I'm not picking up that live food, but nature provides. Nature does provide. Okay, let me see if I can listen to any of this.
Are what feed your fish, or those things are what feed those little critters you see walking around in the very, very zoomed in footage that we're seeing here. So often the creators that talk about those little critters the most, they don't even show them to you. They don't know the names of them.
Well, you gotta start naming some creators, bro.
Those little critters eat the bacteria that eats the leaves. Dirt, real, and they think they have to.
Let me turn on the speed.
Not even talking about plant growth here. Is that you need substrate for that surface area for beneficial bacteria.
Oh my God, he's talking about substrate
he treated
again? Jesus
a 55-gallon tank with methylene blue, and I thought it was pretty insane. So methylene blue, if you don't know, it's blue, and I'm sure there's other things that are said that you should use, but these are like a chemical that will take out.
Featherfin Film says, I don't know. I don't think the bro. I'm looking up how to say it again, bro. I can't. How do you pronounce? I can't. Ciprullinia. Okay. I don't think Ciprullinia is one of the beneficial critters. Feather Film Films, I agree with you. I think it's just hilarious looking at this, like bro, he's saying this is biofilm. Like, oh God, I hate to break it to you.
Fungus, and it'll also take out bacteria.
Biofilm don't got a root
fuzzy
structure,
growth,
man.
If it was a true, like a real fungus, and you were hatching eggs in regular tank water, which most people collect eggs, and then they use that water to hatch them in, you would see.
Well, first of all, that's not even true. Lots of people actually collect fish eggs and put them in a different water. I know a lot of people that use just use chlorinated water actually as a way to try and combat the fungus in the water.
See,
yeah, it's a biofilm days.
Fungus.
Yeah.
Anywhere else as well.
Let's look up the definition of biofilm. What is biofilm aquariums? Because we want to make sure we're on a. So, here's where we get to my problem with Skeptical and the fact he can't fucking read. Like, biofilm is a natural slimy layer of microorganisms like bacteria, algae, and fungi. Let's get another source. Let's get another source on what biofilm is. What is biofilm? Let's do research paper. Okay. All right. Microbial communities. Understanding bacterial biofilms. Okay, let's word search fungi. Bacterial biofilms, okay, microbial community encased in extracellular polymeric substances is characterized by changes in the irreversible adhesion of microbial cells to surfaces or substrates or each other, embedded in EPS, which is the extracellular polymeric substances, and exhibiting specific phenotypes in terms of gene transcription and growth rates. A bacterial biofilm is composed of a single microorganism or a mixture of bacteria, fungi, archaea, protozoa, and yeast. So first of all, he's already an idiot because the definition of biofilm includes the fact that the fungus is actually part of biofilm. So he's saying that it's a common misconception that it's fungus because it's actually fungus. So we're already like, bro. And to be fair, I didn't even know that was the definition of biofilm. We probably should take. I'm gonna put this paper in the chat because we probably should all familiarize ourselves more with what biofilm actually is, because we just say that, and I had no idea that a fungus was included in the definition. But again, bro, Bob said, looks like Skeptical only does research when it comes to fatherfish. Or yeah, fatherfish, and he had like a weird obsession with KG Tropicals for like a week or two. Okay, so this is why it's already so ridiculous. Like the common misconception that the fuzzy bacteria or fungus is bad for eggs. So like that's not a common misconception. That's like a fact, and we've now listed several academic papers as sources for that being a fact. He has listed some really dingy CPD eggs as his supporting evidence, and then he says that it's not fungus, it's biofilm, and now we've looked up the definition of biofilm from multiple places and found that biofilm actually contains fungus. Also, fungus can be a biofilm. It's a microbial community. So I'm just doing this because people that say things confidently and they act like, yeah, we're breaking the mold, we're breaking out of the matrix, like we're being skeptical, like they actually can trick people into think like, bro, the average person isn't trying to fact check a YouTube video. Like, fish breeding myths, fuzzy eggs. Well, I've seen fuzzy eggs in my tank. Let me listen to this. I'm not gonna go fact check to see if it's total bogus. But you know what? I'm doing the work for you guys. I'm Toast Night, everyone. I'll watch the rest of this in the morning. Thanks for the stream, Nick. Jody, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, Bob, I'm still laughing at the skeptical. He does research when it comes to father fish. That's hilarious. So you think he's thinking too deep and hard and collapsing on himself at this point? Let me try that again. Do you think he's thinking too deep and now collapsing on himself? Yeah. I don't. I'll be honest. I've been trying to avoid, but let's take a look at other stuff because I feel like I don't even have to watch this video.
Well, where there's organic material like an unfertilized egg that is breaking down. You would see fungus, right? And so, you know,
wait, what's
fertilized
that? Sorry.
To hatch them in, you would see fungus anywhere else as well, where there's organic material like an unfertilized egg that is breaking down. You would fungus
What is he saying?
chemical that will take out
I guess I'll
fungus,
slow
and
it
it'll
down.
also take out bacteria. So the fuzzy growth, if it was a true, like a real fungus, and you were hatching eggs in regular tank water, which most people collect the eggs,
Okay.
and then they
I can't. This is so stupid. It's so stupid. I feel like the description and everything we've gone over, like the whole premise of the video is wrong, terrible, stupid, lazy, anecdotal, anti-science, pseudoscience, whatever adjective you want to put to it. I feel like if I watch the video and react, I'm just gonna be rude. I don't want to be rude, but I do want to combat terrible information being masqueraded as a very confident opinion that could be confused for fact or something you should actually pay any attention to and apply in your own fish keeping. Do I think he's thinking too deep now and collapsing on himself? Let me see. I can't play any members only videos. I will say, I think you could raise fry at anything. This is his fry container for the CPDs. Bro, this looks like a depression pit. It's like a mold depression. He's like raising the CPDs and like, I feel like they're gonna grow up and have like mental illness. I'm sorry. This is like, even if there's nothing technically wrong with it, it's just my personal preference. Like having something in my fish room that and keeping baby fish in it would make me sad. It would make me sad. Let's see. He's live. How do that? Aquarium live. Oh, he did a Scuds versus Isopods. Oh, God.
When you get fast, reliable internet from Verizon, you also save on the entertainment you love.
I didn't even see this.
Like Netflix and Max.
This isn't exactly, is it just literally them? We're deep diving into 2 live food cultures. These amazing creatures, man, ChatGPT is going to town. Okay, so this is just like a time-lapse of me. Alright. We have some nano breeding setups. I mean, there's not really much here. Like, that's what I'm saying. I haven't really been, like, the science behind no water change aquariums. That sounds dangerous. The truth behind magic nano small fish foods. The rise and fall. Bro, this art is killing me. This art is absolutely killing me. Why does father fish look like out of work Santa Claus? Yeah, no, I'm not gonna watch his videos. I just wanted to. You guys can apply this to the rest of his videos yourselves when you watch them. It's just something I've noticed, and since a lot of people that I know get Skeptical's videos recommended to them, I hear about it. And I just want you to know that this guy knows absolutely nothing about what he's talking about half the time. He's talking out his ass. He's obsessed with substrate-less aquariums. I mean, to each their own. Whatever. Just please do not listen to just anyone on FishTube. All right. If there's any other topic that he's talked about that I can go over, maybe I would. But the fish egg thing was really just infuriated me because
colonial organism that can be fungus or bacteria.
You saw the
among
description.
Other things. So saying that it isn't a fungus or a group of fungus while simplifying
let me see.
Aggressive, even not bad aggressive, but just active and aggressively reproducing fish like a CPD. You know. Let's go through and see if we can answer any questions as well.
Answer any questions.
CC says biofilm is a colonial organism that can be fungus or bacteria.
Wait.
Other things. So saying that it.
Wait, someone fact checked him in the chat, bro. This is incredible. We have to listen to this. Let's see. Hey, maybe this whole stream was a waste of time. I could have just watched the video. But this is 38 minutes in. Most people probably didn't even make it this far.
CC says biofilm is a colonial organism that can be fungus or bacteria, among other things. So saying that it isn't a fungus or a group of fungus while simplifying isn't wrong. Yeah, I mean, I'm totally down, like I said, with the idea that maybe it's a fungus. But my whole thing is that typically fungus is not something that really was ever even a thing that anyone talked about in the aquarium world. Within the last year, there was some dude, I can't remember.
What? Yo, can someone in that... Steve, can someone who's been keeping fish a long time please chime in? Can we just play that pack? Can we just play that pack again? I'm crashing myself. Good night, y'all. Catch the rest tomorrow. Hey, Brandon, I really appreciate you stopping by, man. Take it easy. Good luck on all the fish and the rest of in your life. This man lives under a rock. Yeah, bro. I actually was like stunned. We gotta play that back. I'm sorry. Just I want the people like Steve, Aaron, Bob chime in on this take about fungus.
But my whole thing is that typically fungus is not something that really was ever even a thing that anyone talked about in the aquarium world. Within the...
Bro, fungus was not something that was ever really talked about in the aquarium world? What is he talking? This is what I'm saying, bro. He just gets on here and says anything. He just says anything. I have a horrible sleep schedule, so I'll be around for a while. I feel you.
Typically, fungus is not something that really was ever even a thing that anyone talked about in the aquarium world. Within the last year, there was some dude, I can't remember his name, but he kept making fungus videos because every part of nature was his thing for a while. I'm pretty sure he probably made a squirrel video.
Okay. How in the world... How could he even come at anyone else? He's talking about, oh, this guy loves nature so much, he probably made a squirrel video. Meanwhile, he's just saying absolute garbage. Fungus is never something that's been talked about. Bro, it's probably like one of the most talked about topics in rearing fish for like the last 50 years. Also, if I ever get anything wrong in my videos, feel free to correct me. Hey, me as well. And I do my best. And you guys can give you. I do my best when I'm saying something that's my opinion. You know, this is my opinion. I don't know. This is what works for me. Any caveat, anything that could ever get me out of any trouble. Someone says, hey, you said this and it wasn't true. And if I think something is true, then I cite my sources. As you notice, I'm trying to make that a thing that I do because I'm trying to be the change I want to see in the world. Okay? So if I think something's a fact, I'll provide my supporting evidence besides my experience. If I think something's my experience, my opinion, then I'll say that, and feel free to correct me. Fungi has been around since the beginning of time, including the beginning of aquariums. When you have the environmental to support, it will be there, and it don't take much. Yeah. Fungus may not be as prominent as algae, but people definitely talk about it. I mean, anyone that is breeding fish, like, and that's like the part of the hobby they enjoy the most, like me, or one of the parts they enjoy the most. Fungus is something that is talked about quite a bit. And again, like I said, aquaculture and kind of aquariums have a little bit of side by side, and we can benefit from the aquaculture industry's research because they make a lot more money, so they get more stuff researched for fish around being raised for food. But it's a big topic in their fungus with fish eggs. So just to say that some random guy started making fungus videos and now it's a thing, like, and he's totally dodging the fact that this person's calling him out for being wrong about biofilm. Not like he's saying it's not fungus, it's biofilm, but biofilm is fungus. It's also brought up in all the old aquarium books. Exactly. Like in the same video, he has talked about the and again, I don't use methylene blue with eggs, but he mentions this kind of old habit of people putting methylene blue with eggs. Why? To combat fungus. And this is a practice that's gone for a long time. In the same video, he's now said, no one was really talking about fungus until now. Until some guy that makes videos about rocks and trees and squirrels made, like, bro, what?
Just active and aggressively reproducing fish like a CPD, you know? Let's go through and see if we can answer any questions as well.
I'm playing it back with the person corrects him on the
CC
fungus
says
thing.
biofilm is a colonial organism that can be fungus or bacteria, among other things. So saying that it isn't a fungus or a group of fungus while simplifying isn't wrong. Yeah, I mean...
So I'm playing it back because I want to see if he addresses this question. So we kind of got distracted because he said, you know, another dumb thing that I got to go on a rant about. But let's see if he actually addresses the question. Skeptical on 1.25 speed sounds normal. Okay. Hint taken. I'll put it on 1.25.
Colonial, and I don't know if I said Tiffany Clark.
Okay.
I like how everyone just ignores said Milani. They ignored him. Pretty not bad aggressive, but just or
Back to where we
bacteria,
were.
among other things. So saying that it isn't a fungus or a group of fungus while simplifying isn't wrong. Yeah, I mean, I'm totally down, like I said, with the idea that maybe it's a fungus.
It's not an
But-
idea. It's not an idea, bro. It's literally fact.
My whole thing is that typically fungus is not something that really was ever even a thing that anyone talked about in the aquarium world. Within the last year, there was some dude, I can't remember his name, but he kept making fungus videos because...
I know I said I wanted to see if he addresses the comment, but I just want to say, bro, Skeptical, you gotta start naming names. I'm sick of it, bro. I'm sick of it. Hey, if I get on here and complain about someone, you guys call me out if I don't ever say the name. Like, don't talk shit if you're not gonna name. Like, he's shaded Philip Fishworks like a billion times. Like, watch any videos made about scuds. Just say the damn name, bro. Say these people's names. Oh, I don't remember who this was. I don't remember who that was. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit, bro. If you're gonna dish it out, open yourself to take it. Give
Anyone
these people a chance to defend themselves.
talked about in the aquarium world. Within the last year, there was some dude, I can't remember his name, but he kept making fungus videos because every part of nature was his thing for a while. I'm pretty sure he probably made a squirrel video about aquariums. He's using bat guano, so squirrels probably fit in there. But what I'm getting at is bacteria plays a much larger part
God
of
damn.
most aquariums. I mean, I guess if you're taking your dirt from your yard, there's definitely fungus in dirt from your yard. But like in
What? What the hell?
my tanks, they're just bare bottom tanks. The one that these fish were bred in.
Oh my god. Is he trying to say because he does the no substrate takes, he don't got the fungus in the...
Was in my aquariums. I mean, I guess if you're taking your dirt from your yard, there's definitely fungus in dirt from your yard. But like in my tanks, they're just bare bottom tanks. The one that these
He does know that this fungus is in the tap water, right? Like in the Bob, in the air, in the hole. Like, what is he talking about?
fungus in dirt from your yard. But like in my tanks, they're just bare bottom tanks. The one that these fish were bred in
God.
was actually newly set up. It had only been set up for 24 hours.
Yo, I kind of been like, I've been accused in the past of rage bait. This is the only time I can't defend myself. This was a rage bait title. Bro, I didn't watch this. This is worse than I could have ever imagined. It's unbelievable. Like, I don't even have to hype up how ridiculous this is. Everyone in the chat understands. I think he thinks all fungus is a mushroom. Yeah, bro, I don't even have to say anything. Like, everyone in the chat so far seems to be on board with understanding that this is insane. Bro, I use bare bottom tanks, so there's no fungus. What?
fungus in dirt from your yard. But like in my tanks,
Everyone knows if you leave a piece of bread on the counter, no, it will only mold if you take dirt from outside and put it on top of the bread, bro.
they're just bare bottom tanks. The one that these fish were bred in was actually newly set up. It had only been set up for 24 hours. The plants that went into it came out of a bare bottom tank.
No comment.
So I think in my particular situation, it's more likely to be a biofilm than a fungus. But you are correct. Like I
Okay, first of all, so wrong, so wrong. Not having a substrate in your tank doesn't mean there's no fungus. What are you talking about? Like Steve and everyone say, like it's in the air. It's the spores are in your tap water, so they're in the water that you're putting in there. It's in probably food that you're putting in the feed stuff. And then he again says that, well, because I didn't take dirt from outside and put it in my tank, it's actually more likely that this is a biofilm and not a fungus, which we've already established that biofilms are microbial communities that contain fungus. So you see the anti-intellectual bullshit that we're fighting here. I feel like I'm listening to some red pill incel type situation here, where we just kind of like pretend that reality is whatever we want it to be, and we just take another opinion to try and like be different, or like breaking the mold, getting out the matrix. Like, again, I keep saying the matrix thing. He literally played like, you want to take the red pill or the blue pill, like in the beginning of the video. Like, the cringe, once you consider the quality of information and how wrong he is. Like, you could take the thought experiment of saying, I'm gonna make a video about how fungus on fish eggs is overhyped as a problem. Here's some eggs, there was fungus in them, and these eggs still hatched. I'm happy with the amount of eggs that hatched and the fry that I got, and I feel like if you have some fungus, don't worry about it, like some eggs are gonna hatch. That video, while you could debate about, is a much more tolerant. This never would have happened. The stream never would have happened if that was the video. But he's just saying misinformation, disinformation, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's just bullshit. That's what we'll call it. And it's not even like I have to go source to prove why it's wrong. It's just stuff that everyone on a basic knowledge level outside of fish can hear and realize, or hopefully would hear and realize, this is terrible.
Like I said, I don't have a tester where I can be testing. You know, I got to test just, I guess, by what info I know, sight, smell, touch, and taste, right? And it tastes bad. Just joking. Mike says, I agree. The fungus and bacteria live in...
Must have Google, you know. Not bothered to read about what he's spewing, so they told me this guy didn't pay attention to biology class. He probably doing this just to confuse and fill dead air. And look, that's why I didn't want to ever react to his shit, because I know that a lot of it is just like rage bait, and like it's not even supposed to be, like, he's not even trying, obviously. Someone once said, you know, you and Skeptical, you both go deep dives on the topics and do your research. I was like, bro, don't offend me. This man doesn't read. But sorry, this emoji man. The first warning sign is if someone doesn't show their face and their profile picture is an emoji, you can just assume that they already know that the stuff they're saying is about to be on some bullshit. Like, like, let's just be honest, okay? Like, yes, you're right. He's doing it just to get views and fill dead air. But it's a good example of just bad aquarium information and just some things to look out for. And I would say one thing to always do is let's define everything. At the beginning, okay, let's make sure we're on the same page of what biofilm is, all right? Let's look at the fungus in the water, all right? Let's see what the fungus looks like. You know, make sure that when someone says something, if there's like a word they keep using, actually look up the definition of that to see if they're even using it correctly. Hey, don't insult faceless channels like that. No. I'm not saying necessarily faceless channels as a whole. I'm just saying if you see a channel where the profile picture is this emoji, it's called Skeptical Aquatics. It's AI art, thumbnails, clickbait, rage bait. Like, he's trolling. He's a troll. He's an internet troll. I mean, come on. This guy shows up in the chat. You think he's adding something constructive? I mean, he showed up in my chat before. We saw how that went. So, wow. Did he actually address this?
Symbiosis together, along with the algae, proteins, and amino acids given off by your fish. Yeah.
Okay, he's throwing out the big words.
Patty said, have you tried using shrimp? I heard they don't eat the eggs and only eat the fun. Well, what I'm getting at here with this, Patty, is that why try anything? Like, if the fish hatch in the stuff and they live just fine in it, just like they would if they were resting down in the bottom of your aquarium with sand and detritus and biofilm, like, why are we trying so hard to keep these baby fish in these conditions where we're worried about a little bit of biofilm, but in our aquariums, we love biofilm, right? That's my point.
Well, first of all, there's no sand in your aquariums, so I don't know why you're talking like you could join the club, like it would fall in the dirt and sand in your aquarium. Well, it wouldn't. You don't got any.
Point with it is like we're really kind of overcomplicating things in some cases.
It's not complicated, bro. I agree. Some things in the hobby are overcomplicated, but like this is not like that it's not that difficult. Okay, fungus bad, whatever.
Because we think some things might be bad when they don't really. There's no effect on the egg. Both of these fish hatched from eggs that were literally, like, I purposefully, instead of little newborns that can't even crawl yet, I heard they don't eat the eggs and only the fungus. I tried it with some ram's eggs. Maybe he means, oh, fish ram, not ram's horn snail. So the fish, the ram's fish eggs, and it appeared they did not eat the good eggs. Yeah, that would make sense because, like, when you think about it, if these fish hatch from eggs, like, the biofilm wasn't concerned about the living egg. It, like, knows what's alive and what isn't, maybe?
All right. Any questions? Any other comments? I don't want to beat a dead horse on this. I feel like I don't really have much else to say for myself. I rest my case, I guess, basically. For legal reasons, Skeptical Aquatics is an idiot, parentheses allegedly. Still allegedly, but if this were a trial, I would probably bet a lot on guilty. So. Oh my gosh. With that being said, my next live stream, I'll go over a bunch of different breeding updates. That was gonna be the next live stream, then this happened. I got some Scarlet Baddis, not even fry anymore. They're like juveniles now, 1 or 2 of them, and some other fun stuff. So we'll get to look at a bunch of different fish and a bunch of different eggs. The fish that I got to swap the other day are doing well. I got some fish from Aaron today, black planted tank, a trio of Aphysemia australis that he had given up on, maybe a little old. I'm gonna see if I can get anything out of them. And then I got some annuals from him. I've never done an annual, so it's gonna be a real challenge for me for sure. And yeah, breeding updates, gotta keep it about the fish, man. I think it was Salient that commented. He was like, all the side stuff like is about the fish. I agree, but we gotta make sure we're fighting against bad information, especially when it's a growing hobby, man. I don't know if you guys know, but the aquarium hobby is growing, so there's always an influx of new people. Not everyone stays around for long, but it's always a battle of providing good information to people that don't yet know any better, right? Any questions about this or anything else? I can talk about breeding updates if you guys want. That's really all I had on my mind. I just kind of like saw it and was like, oh my god, bro, let me just do this real quick. But maybe tomorrow I'll get a bunch of really nice footage. I got my camera out again. I've been shooting. I've actually been shooting a good bit. I guess I could preview some stuff for whoever is still here. I'll preview some stuff, but I want to just get some good footage of, like, do I have neon tetras? I do have neon tetras. They were my grandpa's, so I didn't get them intentionally, and they're kind of like in a catch-all community tank. So I wouldn't necessarily call myself a neon tetra expert or anything. But technically, I do still have a neon tetra around here. Stuffed in the corner, We don't talk about them much. I don't know why I say it like that. Let me pull up, I want to show you guys some of the footage from the room that I've been taking. The rosy loaches have been really cool. And I think I got some other stuff, the Galaris that I got, and all the things yesterday that when my thing stopped working I couldn't show footage of. Since we are all about the fish, let's talk about the fish. Just for a little bit, as a palate cleanser. And thank you for bearing through me with this. I don't know if I'm gonna try and do another month of positivity next month, because I have some, we might have to get into some stuff. But this was supposed to be a month of positivity March. We made it halfway through. I could still go the rest of the month and be positive, but we're just gonna have to try again. That's what I'm saying. We're just gonna have to try again. I'm sorry, I failed this time. But let's look at some fish. And He says, "Yay, fish!" I know. Isn't that what this is all about? Okay. So, here's my screen share loading up. It, like, when it targets, it has like a million names of what application. My eyes are slow. So this is a Premiere that you'll be seeing in a second here. Alright, and let me make this a little smaller so we can actually see what's going on. You would think that a program like this would just automatically size things to the right size, but, you know. Why would it ever make sense? And then let me make it so you can actually see me again. I'll show my face. Alright. Let's see what we got here. So this is going to be some of the fish I've picked up recently / literally just at the swap event the other day. And we're just going to go through. I'll mute it. And this is from... Hey, what's up, NP? What's up, Nick? Hey, SC, how's it going? You came at just the right time. We're actually talking about fish. I'm going over some footage I didn't get to play the other day. And I think I actually did film all this in 60 frames. So let me go ahead and set it to slow motion. Nope, I didn't. Never mind, I lied. Alright, so Small World Aquatics actually had like a rice fish pond to show their tricolor rice fish in at the swap. And, you know, I don't know if you've ever been to one, but it was pretty crowded, so it was hard for me to get like solid footage of things. But I just, you know, get a general... I've been going down the Hillstream rabbit hole today. Check out Pseudogastromyzon laticeps. All right, I'll look at that. Oh, that's the purple fin one. Yeah. Did you see London Town had them a couple weeks ago, actually. Here's some footage of some of the Ivanacara bimaculata that London Small World Aquatics had. They sold out very quickly. I have 4 of them that I ordered online. Yeah, you guys can actually order fish from them if you wanted. They do ship. And this is a fish that I've wanted for a long time. I'm gonna have to grow them out. They're a little bit smaller, but they're pretty expensive to order. And not only that, like, even if they were the same price, these were $24, which I think is like, I can't argue. Like, it's fine. It's a fair price. Why I think it's truly a fair price is even if the adult was $24, most of the places you can order them from charge like $50 shipping or whatever. So, I mean, it's pretty expensive either way. But they were looking good. They had some other fish, and the cool thing is all their fish, I think the majority of their fish are hobbyist bred. I did some footage. You can see they're like catching fish out of the displays, bagging them up right there in front of people. That's kind of fun, like you're in a fish store. I almost got them last month, Steve. How much did they want? I missed how much they were. I'm sure that they were expensive. They wouldn't be usually you can take Dan's fish price and remove like $40, and that's usually London Town, like in that area. Sometimes it's lower than that, but like London Town is usually still like not cheap, but that's basically the math I do. If it's on Dan's fish, you can at least take $40 off the price most of the time. For the expensive stuff. There are some stuff that's like the same. These are some of the guppies. I think these were all $25 a pair, if I remember correctly. Chinese loaches on my list, usually $25 to $50 a pair. Hey, what's up, Jesse? Pricey guys. Yep. Oh, there's the price. Albino platinum white fancy guppies. Is it really a fancy fish if there's not like 6 words in the name? I know that's 5, but... Oh, this is the Tawa, Kalitawa rainbow fish. I just thought they looked so funny with their eyes in the back. Look at them, bro. Wait, let me make myself smaller, because this is about the fish. I thought this shot was just so funny, but here's the other ones. And I'm telling you, bro, there was a lot of good vendors. I think Small World was the best, like, all around. They had like pretty much a little bit of everything, and they had the breeding thing, which I like, and they got solid branding, the stickers and all that. So, but if I had to pick like a runner-up, like, cause we're judging like the setup and all that kind of stuff. If I had to pick a runner-up, just because I thought the fish were super nice. If you're into angelfish or rainbow fish, those are both fish that are like very specialized. And while I'm not specialized in both of those, I got to observe people that were interacting with the vendors, and they just seemed super solid. The fish looked pretty good. And for rainbow fish, I felt like they were decent size. Rainbow fish, sometimes the sizes are pretty small. Pseudogastromyzon, Genesis, Mr. Hillstream, seen it all. My LFS had Bloody Mary Hillstreams for $24. Not sure about the purple price. That's not too bad. But the Bloody Mary ones, the prices are really coming down because I feel like they were like $50. Who would pay that much for domestic libraries? Yeah, that vendor had a few higher prices, but I think also at the swaps, like especially if you made the trip there, and you're just like, I gotta buy something. Like I could see how you could get trapped. Depends on the season and species, but more exports from China have been happening last year compared to yeah. They've been saying the hill streams are like the next pleco. Anybody get in rainbow loaches? Track cut. Man, I can't read today. I cannot read. Those look pretty cool though. Those look pretty cool. I'll put a picture on the screen. What the heck? What the heck? I have the technology to do that real quick. But then I want to get to my rosy loaches. But these guys look pretty cool. Look pretty cool. Not too bad. Not too bad. Alright. They've had their moment in this stuff. This is the footage I've actually been wanting to look at. I'm sorry. The rosy loaches. I got a group of rosy loaches from London Town. I got 8, but I think one of them might be a different kind of loach. I'm not sure. There's something about it. I have it separated. It just got a different pattern, and I think it might have gotten mixed in. I just haven't had the time to sit down and like research what it is. And let me see if I actually filmed this footage in 60 frames or not, because then I'll slow it down so we can maybe combat against my horrendous hand-holding skills. Okay, yeah, I did not, but the next ones were. Okay, so these ones are all right. So rosy loaches, I think they call them hovering loaches. They're like a schooling, tiny little roach. The males, I guess, get redder. I haven't really seen them be super red yet. But rainbow loaches look a lot better in person than photographed well. Yeah, the male and female rosy loaches have different coloration. It's definitely like relatively obvious, like I can see. But the one that looks different, like the pattern's like a zigzag. Like it looks like a different loach. But I got some pretty cool. I was doing a water change, and they just are grouping up so nicely. And I got them in the 28 low boy, which is them, and the Elisoma Gilberti in there. I decided to make it a small fish tank, see if I can get more passive breeding, because the Elisoma were actually breeding in there with the checkerboard cichlids. And I've been pulling fry out of there with the checkerboards in there, but I was like, I was pairing off checkerboards anyway, so I took the remaining ones, put them in a catch-all community tank. And I thought you could see the color difference in one of the frames before, but I won't go back, I'll just wait. So you can just see, like, they're so adorable. They're so absolutely adorable, man. I love watching them in the tank, schooling together, hovering in the midsection. It's perfect for the low boy too, because it's a short tank, so they just kind of sit in the middle perfectly. And I believe that they're actually in Myanmar, which is where CPDs are from. I don't know if they're from the same water, but if you're doing like for some reason a Myanmar tank, you could do CPDs and rosy loaches. That could be kind of interesting. Hovering loaches are a different species. All right, let me see. You know what? This hovering loach looks like the one that doesn't fit in with the rosy loaches. It looks exactly like this. So I might actually have gotten a hovering loach Does anyone seen those orange river snails? Are they that different from the blueberry snails? Man, I wish my blueberry expert was in here. I have seen them on Moonlight Aquatics. The rosy loach was just recently described as Psychocystra mango. Oh, that's cool. Because I did when I was looking them up, like a lot of them did just have like a SP. So I'll have to go hunt down that description. But they're new to me. I've only had them a few weeks, so I'm still playing catch up. But here you see, I just got a bunch of Hygrophila. Sunset in the back. My camera doesn't want to. I think at some point I have to switch to manual focus because it just wasn't catching them. But you can see they really stick together nicely. I think the ones missing, I can't tell if they're respawning or not. I'm pretty confident that I've seen them spawn, but I haven't zoned into that yet. Like I haven't gone into the mode of like, all right, I'm trying to breed these guys. I'm still in the let's keep them, let's research them. And 1 second, this is like untreated footage, so let me just stop a second just to brighten this a little bit, so you can actually see it. But it's just, I love them. I absolutely love them. And here they are, just going against the current. Then here are the juvenile blue-barred barbs, African barbs I got from just another fish. This is after I fed them a bit, so they're starting to look pretty nice. There's only so one was dead. I think that one was on me. They were in the bag a long time, and they were definitely acting stressed out in the bag, and I had to drive from the swamp to Harrisburg, get a bunch of stuff, and drive all the way home. So like, I just took too long, I think, to get them back, and I think the drive was not the smoothest, I'll be honest. I have both, and they school together. I personally know one of the authors on the paper. Oh, that's awesome. Let me, if it's not too much trouble, please put the description in the chat, and I'll definitely make sure I read that, because I really am trying to learn more about them. And the hovering, I thought I heard someone call them a hovering loach, but it's funny that I think I got a hovering loach, so it's mixed in with them. So does the hovering loach stay smaller? Because then I guess I'll just put it in. I didn't know if it was one of those loaches that got bigger, so I just separated it until I figured out what it was. But if it stays that size, then they gotta put them in. They can't hybridize or anything, can they? Really cool fish, and it's not expensive. The rosy loaches are not really expensive, so I feel like it's a really nice fish. I'm trying to get a little bit closer. I think this is the footage that I can actually slow down. So 1 second. Let me slow this down. Yeah. Nice. So yeah, these are the blue barbs. I have 4 adults because the store only had 4 left. I wanted to get a bigger group since they're kind of a social fish, and they really do stick together and hang out a lot. So it's been a really fun fish to have. So I wanted to have more. They both stay tiny. All right, then I'll put them together, especially if they can't cross. But yeah, so these guys, I'm gonna grow them out. They're looking pretty good. I didn't realize, like, at that size they'd already have kind of that blue coloring. And then this is one of the things I'm very excited about. So I wish I bought both bags, but there are 2 bags of fairy shrimp, live fairy shrimp, and I think they were collected somewhere in the, he said that his friend collected them, and it was in Pennsylvania. And I got some very fun footage of them, so check that out. So if you're not familiar with fairy shrimp, they're like freshwater brine shrimp. These ones have this like bright white into their tail, and they're pretty big. Like, I put them in a bunch of different tanks, some green water tanks, but then just like some fry tanks, just trying to see if they'll survive somewhere. You know, I didn't want to put all my eggs in one basket. This is, I believe, a male. If they're similar to brine shrimp, I believe this is a male. They have like the big mouths, and I think they do like kind of carry females around. I've seen that with I had a colony of brine shrimp breeding briefly and then I don't know what I did. It was going so well, and I killed it, and I could never get it going again. What was the point of those fairy shrimp? For feeding, for culturing, for pets? They're too cute to feed to my fish. So I do wanna culture them, like basically like a Daphne or something. Uh, if I could get them going well enough, then why would I need to hatch uh, baby brine, really? Um, in some ways, you could actually make them better nutritionally, like more complete, if you fed them the right thing. Because baby brine pretty good. It's not a totally complete food. Although you can feed them stuff if you wanted to, wait it out after look at their legs, bro, or swimettes, whatever you want to call it. It's like so hypnotizing. But yeah, I believe this is a male because he's got them big old teeth at the front, and the white tail really stands out. So I'm hoping I'm successful in culturing them. They could be a good food. I've read some papers that nutritionally fairy shrimp are better for the freshwater fish, which would kind of make sense since they're freshwater creatures themselves. Is it cuter than Neocaridina? Honestly, they might be big enough to see with the webcam. I might try, but I'm not gonna lie. I was pretty proud of it. I thought this was pretty cool footage. I'm not gonna lie. So, like I said, I broke my mental barrier with holding the camera. I don't know why. I just was having a hard time picking it up and filming. But I've started to film a little bit here and there, and I'm like remembering why it's really fun to film stuff in my aquarium. Get to see it up close. Actually get to show other people what the hell I'm trying to show them in the tank instead of using my phone. But here we go. This is some of the footage I was really into, I think, coming up here. Too cute to feed to my fish. It would be hard. There was a scarlet baddis in one tank I put it in, and it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. So this is an amber glitter Medaka I'm working on creating a long fin version of, but this is one of the Australian male. I picked up a pair from Fish and Friends. So this is right after he got in. I think he'll probably get oranger than that. Sorry, one second, going back. I think he'll probably get oranger than that. But you can see the body, not a lot of brown. Looks pretty nice. They're pretty small, so got a little bit of growing to do. Now, this is actually on topic. So, here is a clump of rice fish eggs, all right? And you can see that we have some ones that never quite made it that are fungused. And you can see a little bit of the fungus starting to get on this egg, but it's pretty developed. These ones are developed. Like, I think they're gonna be fine. Now, one thing I've been doing, and why I didn't touch this or worry about it, is because I have another strategy for dealing with this. Because I researched things, and I realized the fungus is actually a problem, and I'm trying to come up with an actual innovative way. And I'm not even the first person to think of it, but if anyone is a true OG, they know one of the things that first led me to the aquatic isopods was my research and trying to find other ways to combat fungus on fish eggs. And I keep the isopods with my fish eggs, and the eggs do significantly better when I use the isopods. And I don't have footage in this set, but this clump of eggs has actually been tended to by isopods. They'll climb on the clump, go to the bad ones, and they actually eat the root structures of the mycelium of the fungus, which kills it, and they'll eat it off the eggs. And since they have a scraping strategy, they can do it without harming the eggs too much. And I found that it works really well. So a little bit of a pro tip out there for you, maybe. I again, it's still a little bit new. There are 2 papers out there that are in my collection of papers on aquatic isopods about it. So it's not a totally like unsupported thing, but it is still kind of theoretical, I guess. But the 2 papers on it, they did have positive results, and I've had them myself. So I just wanted to show rice fish eggs. You can see developed there with the fungus, but the isopods took care of it. All right, this is some footage of the pair of dwarf red galaris that I picked up. It's one of the reasons I went to the swap. My friend Justin, Interesting Aquatics, had some killifish. He's trying to focus on his angelfish, so he didn't have time to breed the killifish. And I wanted to make a bunch of dwarf red galaris again, because the first killifish actually that I bred was the dwarf red galaris. If you didn't know. And they're incredible fish. They're like little dogs. When I had them before, like anytime I was working in a tank, they'd come up, nibble my hands. You know, Black Planet tank, he talked about they let him pick them up in his hands. Like, they're just really friendly fish, and working with them is very rewarding. So I'm excited to have them back in the fish room. Female's looking like a slightly funky. I think the male's been a little rough on her. You can see him kind of. I like turned the lighting up, but then I turned the lighting up in the actual footage. But you see he's trying to show off to her. She's not totally into it. This is back to the male Australia, just a better shot of him there. Let me check the chat real quick. That's fascinating. Didn't know isopods were such good babysitters. Yeah, they're really great, man. The isopod agenda. You gotta take anything I say about isopods with a grain of salt. You know, I am a shill. But that one, I do have support. That I didn't fund these studies. Let me be clear. I did not fund them. There are no conflicts of interest. But yeah, you can see the orange coming in. He's settling in a bit more than earlier. And this is like a little bit later. And then we're back to the Galaris again, because I can't stop. So you can see that trident tail coming in. And see how her fins are a little beat up and stuff. So they're still together. I think I'm going to take her out tonight, probably. Oh, this is the rainbow. I did buy a rainbow fish. I bought 3. I think he said it was 1 male and 2 females. I can't pronounce the name. But if you recognize it from this, then I'll know you're a real rainbow fish person. So, pretty excited about that. I think that's all I got. So, yeah, next stream hopefully will be just 100% fish, no drama, no fact checking, no exposing, no research, because I've actually been working on trying to actually have fish that I've bred around, fish keeping. I've been trying to keep the fish and trying to work on some stuff that I want to help preserve, especially with the killifish. So with that being said, I think that's really all I have to talk about, but I'm not going to just dip. If anyone has any questions about anything I've talked about in the stream or just in general, the isopods, whatever it may be, now is your chance to ask. And then if there's no more questions, I'm going to go move some fish around and try to stay out of trouble. Really? That's really all that I got left to do for the night. Just stay out of trouble and stare at the fairy shrimp, because they are pretty fun. They're pretty fun to watch. Actually, I just want to skip to the fairy shrimp footage again, because that was my favorite part. Whew. And I need, let me write down. Does the mystery loach have vertical stripes? If so, it could be micron. Let me write that down. The rainbow mountain loach. Excuse me. No. Not quite look like that. Wait, actually. Its stripes are vertical, but it's not. I can't tell if it's vertical or slightly diagonal, or if that would even make a difference. But the pictures that are coming up for that species name, like, it does look like it, like it's a small loach, but I'm not seeing the striping being the same. I missed that message. Damn it, I realized I mixed up the names. Ada! See, that's how you know I streamed too long. Ada starts telling me that it's time to pay attention to her. Really, Ada? She started biting my elbow. Ah! Look at this. She wants me to clear space. Yes, Ada. I know. She's telling me it's time to go to bed. I know. I really appreciate that. Okay, the hovering loach is M. cruciatus. Let me pull that up. I'll switch the window capture to look at this thing over here. Ah! 1 second, Ada. Yeah, this does look kind of like the mystery loach. It does a little bit. Let me see. I would say like this one for sure. Yeah, it looks like this. I feel like the stripes are more in the middle, but maybe there's some variation or it's young. Okay, this looks pretty similar. Man, I didn't realize there's so many mini loaches. So now I need to go find those and get a bunch of those, and I need to breed both of them, right? I imagine they can't be impossible to breed. I must have a chance. Ah! The rainbow loach is much larger. Yeah, when I was looking at the rainbow loach photos, I was like, I don't know, man. It looks a little different to me. It looks a little different. But you're spitting with this one. This looks like loach. Actually, let's see if I can show you. I can put my laptop up to the damn tank. 1 second. So this is my holding tank for new arrivals. Little 5-gallon. And the mystery loach is actually, well, it was right up in the front. Let's see if he comes back. And there actually is a big fungus pile of food back there. That is edamame I put in there a bit ago. And I've just been kind of like seeing the differences with fungus seen in biofilm in the tank. So just ignore that little experiment. But the mystery loach does not like the laptop screen, so that might have been our main chance to see it. I apologize. I tried, but I think you're right. I think it is this hovering loach, and now I feel like it's another loach I want to breed. The whole Nema. You guys are just killing me with these names. So that's a family of stone loaches. Okay, that's cool. So can this hovering loach hybridize with the rosy loaches? Because then I would want to keep them separate. Also check the genus. Right. Okay. I see. No idea. Fantastic. I wonder how they got... I mean, they do look kind of similar. I don't know if they're actually in the same tank and they caught them by accident, like they're both listed in the tank, or if it was like they came in with the rosy loaches situation. But it is kind of, because they're not from the same place. The rosy loaches are from Myanmar. These guys, they're from China, maybe? Let me see. They sure do look and act similar. Yeah, they do look and act similar. Like when right next to each other, the striping definitely stands out against the rosy loaches. But I could see how you would miss it in a store for sure. For sure, I'm not mad about that at all. Probably would make the same mistake, especially considering I know nothing about these guys, either of them. I'm definitely like, I see a fish I'm interested in. I do like an initial like, okay, care requirements, size, where it's from, blah 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 blah. But before I breed it, I try and just have it for a few weeks to months before I really try and breed it, just so I can watch it. And I make my screen bigger, but since you seem to be an expert on the loaches, or at least a loach enthusiast, let's see if you can get a live look at the rosy loach empire I've provided them. So there's one. Oh, there are some there's some albino and super reds in there. I forgot about that. I mean to take the albinos out and just have the reds in there because I like how they look. My one right over there. But you can the rosy loaches, they're kind of like, they're another one of those fish that act like cats to me. Like, they're always going around. They look like they're up to no good. They're mischievous. They sit on things very cutely. Like, they'll sit on the blade of Alsnaria, like right on it, just chilling. And it's very adorable. And I just don't know what much more you could ask from an angelfish. I guess a little bit more color would be nice, but I mean, when we're talking about like planted tanks and like design, like I feel like they fit in for that pretty nicely. Like I love what they add to the tank, and I want to get more, especially since they're not a very expensive fish. I think they're like $3 to $5, and then there's a group buy discount. Hovering loaches are from the Indochina region. Loaches are my favorite group despite my name. Catfishers are merely a close second. I don't give three shits about color. Yeah, for me, I like muted colors. I do like a few flashier fish, but I tend to gravitate towards more muted color stuff, like the barred barbs and things like that. I do have a breeding colony, a Swilia lineata that I grew out from Marcel, and they've been breeding for me. I got a good amount of them. You can see here. I was actually surprised to see like they breed at this size. When they first were breeding, they were around this size, and I have a bunch of them of all different sizes. I don't know if we'll see any of the super small babies, but I got super reds and hill streams breeding in here, and then we got the Procatopus, which is my most focused breeding project at the moment, and I'm having success, man. I'm excited. I'm making a lot of Procatopus. Yeah, the baby loaches are gonna be hard to see. Plus, they just dislodged this giant thing of algae. When I was gone for a few days, the person that was feeding the tanks kind of went crazy, so I got a whole batch of algae, but I don't really care about algae that much. That Bobitis is actually already dead. I trimmed it, and this plant's looking nice. I just trimmed this plant, and I'm seeing the benefits already. I need to start cutting up my plants more often. But yeah, I would show you kind of my rock pile where all the loaches are, but the algae is basically sitting right on it. But you can see some of them on the glass. Oh, here's a little bit of a smaller one. I'm just trying to show evidence that they were breeding in here, basically, just so you can see the variance in size. So this is like right when it's starting to fan out, because the baby loaches, like, they don't even look like the hill streams. Like, they don't have the flat UFO look to them right out the gate. They kind of look more like a thinner loach. So I'm still a beginner in the loaches, but I do have at least those under my belt breeding wise, and hopefully I can add the rosy loaches to another one as I start to learn more about those guys. Baby hill streams look like another word I can't pronounce. You know, we've hit peak hill stream when we start getting captive morphs. Yeah, from what I've heard, Swilia breed rabbits. Yeah, that's been my experience. Just add a rock pile. A real rock pile. Don't go light. I'm talking about like a bag of rocks. You can see there's just sponge filters in there. Don't need anything too crazy. But if you give them a rock pile to put some eggs in where they can't get eaten, hill streams will most likely show up. That's been my experience, at least. Let me look up this word that you just said. So this is another family. Okay, this is another way of saying it. Loaches. Okay. You know, some people think that like research, like, bro, I know so little. I rely on people like Featherfin Films in the chat to point out to me things I should look at. Then I go read it. I don't understand with Swilia. They breed so easily, but every store I go into, they're $20. I think the price will start coming down soon. Like, it was $20 before. I feel like it's getting more in the $15 range. But just because they breed easily, like, they're also in high demand. So, I mean, there's a demand supply. How many people can sit in the stores? Enough of them, kind of a thing. So, that's all. A specific loach family, each family looks really different. Yeah, loaches seem like super diverse in appearance, and size, and pretty much everything. So, the hill streams were my first, and I'm hoping the rosy loaches will be the next. I don't think the rosy loaches will be too hard. Like, I think I've seen them breeding, and I feel like they're in a pretty nice tank. I'm hoping some babies just show up and they make it easy for me. I just have them in there with the Elisoma and the Plecos, so we'll see. We'll see. I need my rams to wait. I think my rams are actually laying eggs right now. I want to see people breed smaller bowtied loaches. Like, is that like the lizard loach and stuff like that? I gotta find my page that I'm actually screen sharing. Bro, you guys got me actually talking about a fish. I'll never go to sleep. It's just how I like it. Alright, I found my page again. You said, which were the loaches you wanted me to look at? The boutique. Perhaps they're seasonal spawners. The rosy loaches. Boutique loaches. Okay, so like yo-yo loach, zebra loach, but you said smaller ones. I'm not too familiar with the smaller ones from this. Also stripy. Well, this guy looks crazy. My goodness. My goodness. Wait, I want to see if we can actually, if my I think my rams are really laying eggs right now, but I don't want to spook them, so I'm not gonna put the. Hopefully, when I come back tomorrow, there'll be eggs. They've laid eggs twice, but I think tank mates were not compatible / new parents. I'm gonna actually pull some of the eggs this time around because I'm sick of watching them disappear. And I had the same issue with my McMaster Eye Golds, which are so gorgeous. I want more of them. And they've laid eggs multiple times, and they weren't showing up. I finally looked in the cave, and there were planaria, the exact color of the eggs, bright pink. I was like, well, I've been sitting here watching planaria eat the eggs. So I bombed the tank with no planaria, and I'm going to do it again. I was so mad, bro. I was so mad. I was so many pistos. They're so beautiful, bro. I want them to be able to make more of themselves. Only small one that I know is the dwarf chain. That's Bodia dwarf chain loach. Dwarf chain is in that family genus Ambest. Bro, I hope you don't know this off the top of your head, because if you do, I need to read more. I'll need to read more. I know that these are one of the fish that come up constantly for, like, you want them to eat snails. So, let's see. How to breed. Few accounts. Rock piles. Alright. Where do I buy them? Dwarf chain, loach, buy. Just for you, I'll look into this. I spend too much time reading about obscure fish and race cars. If you have another one to recommend, let me know. But this seems like a good. Oh, you know what? I'm supposed to be testing Aquahana again soon. Waiting for them to do their next shipping announcement. If you missed it, I'm testing a few places like shipping, doing reviews. Aquahana has had incredible customer service. I give their customer service A++. We're gonna do a couple of us ordered fish from them, and I'll do an update. It's been like a few weeks, but man, it's been brutal. So unfortunately, it won't be the happiest update. Another reason why I can never take money from these companies, because just someone being nice I don't want to say anything too critical, just because they've been nice, they've been in the chat and stuff like that. But man, I mean, I don't have any fish from the order. I'll leave it at that. I don't have any fish left. I'll leave it at that. But I'm gonna make a few more orders because they told me that there's another shipping update they're doing in March. So the thing they fixed before was the shipping time, and they did get here in time. So that was true. I want to see what they announce next regarding shipping. Do a few more orders, and then I'll make my final kind of review of the experience. Zebra roaches get 4 inches, but their availability is spotty. Skunk roaches are skunk roaches are even smaller, but can be feisty. Dwarf chain loach. I mean, what do you feel about the dwarf chain loach versus those as a breeding project? Like 2.4 inches, I can work with that. Do they eat shrimp? I mean, if they eat snails, I imagine they'll eat shrimp, right? I mean, that's not necessarily a deal breaker, but it's something I need to consider. I already have I have way more tanks that shrimp can't openly live in than I ever expected I would have already, which is fine. But, you know, not invert safe, so keep them far away. Well, that's fine. That's fine. The isopods have populations that they maintain in some of these predator tanks, and every now and then I'll remove the predators for one reason or another, and isopods will pop up again. So I'm pretty confident. Usually in most of my tanks, the isopods are in there, even if some are getting eaten. It's more about how much will they look and eat other fish eggs. That'll make it more difficult to keep them, because I do a lot of community breeding. It's a gift and a curse. But it means that when I'm combining fish, there's an extra set of factors that I'm considering. DCLs are endangered in their native range. Oh, is that you telling me that I need to look at the paper and natural habitat on the Google Scholar? Yeah, of course. Best nanofish for eating snails. You know what? I feel like they've fallen off a bit for being the one for eating snails, because I haven't heard about them. I feel like when I was first getting into this, like a year and a half ago, I came across mentions of them a lot, but Damn, they eat neurite snails too. They eat all my ugly mystery snails. Do they like tear apart the bigger snails? Or just harass them to death? Like I'm so curious how like actually aggressive they are to other fish too. Dwarf chain loach eating a snail. There's got to be footage of this, right? Videos. Okay, we got a short. It's just a graveyard. God damn. They're so tiny. That's the crazy thing. Oh my god. Oh, this could be fun. This could be fun. And they're small and they look cool. And Aqua Hunter has them. Okay, guys. Okay. Nanochromis or snail king, bro. I don't know if you know, but like I'm really into cribs. I got a few species. I've been wanting to do man, what species is this? Sheesh. I actually haven't even seen that one. I've been wanting to order Nanochromis splendens for a while and do them. Really cool fish, small. It's like cribs, but like skinny, like really slender. Kind of got like that pike cichlid shape. I kind of imagine that they actually appreciate some rock piles, caves to hide in, probably. Again, I haven't bought them. I haven't prepared to buy them, so I haven't done all my research. But I've been looking at this site, Aquatic Clarity. They have a bunch of cool West African fish in here, and I believe Nanochromis. They had Nanochromis in here. I don't know what one this is. I think I remembered I looked it up and it didn't look as necessarily cool. I like that white stripe. See, I do like the subtle beauty stuff. Like that actually is pretty appealing to me. This seems like it would be like the perfect conditions. It would look like that, you know what I mean? But I have Pelvicochromis, Draconfelsi, Um, I've been having issues with my Sacromontis. They just keep getting that like fungus stuff, not like gross behind the eyes. Some of my crib breeder friends, they say that like it just happens to a few. I just can't figure out how to prevent it, but Nanochromis or Snail Kings is good to know because I do have them on my list. So clown loaches and red fin loaches I know are seasonal spawners at least. Yeah. Okay, so for you feather fin films, I'm looking at breeding bow-teed loaches for one of my future projects, and it looks like we're kind of settling in on dwarf chain loaches. I mean, they're endangered. They eat snails. They seem pretty cute. Small. Won't slaughter my other fish, hopefully. Hopefully. Dwarf chain loach community, question mark? They can thrive, provided they are kept in a group and with compatible fish. Great. Okay. They can be kept with angelfish corridors. Okay, okay, Google AI. Thanks for giving me all the false hope. I'm ready to buy. Dang, that site is like no catfish. No, wait, there's catfish in here. Yo, what's up?
What's up?
Someone said, Nick, what did you do to your eyebrow? Oh, I was trying to cut my hair, and my hand slipped, and like it hit my eyebrow. That's all there is to the story. It was kind of funny that I did a stream today called "Calling Someone Else an Idiot" in the title, and like, this is what I brought to the table. Let me see. Let me pull up. No, there's catfish on here. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Where's the catfish? Since you want to be a damn... Why can't you be into other fish, man? You're all loaches and catfish. Alright. Maybe you actually went to the site and beat me to it, because the catfish list is sparse. It is sparse. You may want to set up 2 tanks, 1 warm and low flow, heavily planted, the other hill stream like. Rest in peace, eyebrow. Yeah, well, these things do grow back. So, yeah, this is not enough catfish. I'm gonna have to agree with you, but no one order this killifish before I do, but if I have to replace my phone still, so my fish orders are kind of on pause because I'm broke. I'm broke for now. But where is the damn... Oh, someone messaged me. I forgot to respond. I'm so sorry. Without a phone, I'm really not able to respond to a lot of things, and I've been out of town. But someone from the Discord offered me their old phone to trade in. I do have an old phone that I can try and trade in, so I appreciate people. Like, it's crazy. You guys are... I've just made a lot of good friends with the fellow hobbyists, so just shout out to you guys. I appreciate it. But I'm trying to figure out what... There's a killifish on here that I really wanted to show you guys, but it's not showing up. Oh, this one. Epiplades infrafasciatus dehane. Yeah, let's go with that. Look at this thing, man. This is one of those things where I kind of would have to see it to believe it. But...
Oh, damn.
Pretty freaking cool looking fish. It's just hard. It's always hard to know with the locations and stuff of these guys. Even these, like, they're not quite as like crazy looking. I mean, they're crazy looking, but not in the same way as that very specific photo. Let me see if this location. All right, so this is from that location. So pretty promising killifish. But I kind of have my hands full right now. So replace phone, set up a few tanks, then we'll get some. I gotta sell some fish. I gotta breed some fish. I gotta make a video. I gotta do all sorts of stuff. We gotta update some isopod information. I'm watching my last isopod videos and cringing. I'm like, man, I feel like I've learned a lot more. I still barely know anything, but like I know more than when I made those videos. I want to come up with something. Bonker said, I don't know who Skeptical Aquatics is, but happy to be here. I would say, well, first of all, we already went over it. So just don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. Did Captain share any of those pies? Yes, I did eat some grasshopper pie on Pie Day. It was pretty good. Oh. You guys, since you guys missed it, I gotta play the fairy shrimp footage again. I feel like you'd like that. But Schmoover, how you doing?
Doing all right.
What you been working on?
Currently, not much, but the job hunt is over. Thank goodness.
There you go. There you go. Congratulations.
Work at a greenhouse.
Always love associated jobs that are within the hobby sphere. That's fun. What do you do in the greenhouse?
I forgot what it's called, but basically you have to like cut like certain parts of the plants for them to grow like bushier.
Okay.
And then I also load and unload things so they can be like transported to or distributed to other shops.
Very nice. Very nice. A caretaker of the plants.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see my fairy shrimp?
I do.
What do you think my odds are of keeping these guys alive?
I have never kept fairy shrimp before, so I can't really judge, but...
Just judge by the movement of the... whatever these are. The swimettes.
I mean, I know fairy shrimp are like big swimmers because it's like pretty much all they do, so if they're near the bottom, I'd say chances are mid to low.
No, this is
I'm
the
not gonna
top.
lie, but your head is like right over the fairy shrimp in the video.
Oh, what? Oh, I didn't hit transition. I'm so sorry. The studio mode's killing me.
No worries. I was like, I don't think he realizes that his face is.
No. Check it out, bro. This is.
Where the fairy
There are
shrimp
two There are 2 bags of them, and I can't believe I should have bought both bags. Like,
Oh my goodness.
look how dope. Look how white the end of their tail is. So I was saying earlier, I'm pretty sure this is a male. If they're like brine shrimp, because the males have the big, scary claws. Carry the females with. So it's a swarming isopod. Come on, it's fine. But I read a few papers. Sorry, what were you saying?
No, you go first.
I was just gonna say I read some papers about like maybe their nutrition being better for freshwater fish since they're freshwater themselves. So I was like, if I can get a colony going and then I can feed them to be a bit more of a complete food than baby Brian too, then that could be interesting. But honestly, just as like another fun pet thing, like they're pretty big. Like I would say like the length of 3 Daphnia magna. You know, like they stand out. And they got cute little faces.
They look really cute.
You know.
I'm just saying, like, come on, man. The eggs haven't been working out for me, so I'm hoping this works out.
No, I think it should be fine.
I put some of them in the tanks, like where the Daphnia were doing all right, and I'm hoping that they also do all right. Dude, Arizona fairy shrimp has been sold out for like 3 billion years. So,
Damn.
I've been just buying random.
Those are Greenwater Farms. They have eggs.
Yeah. I've had mixed results. I think one of the Greenwater Farms one they hatched, but then died. But yeah.
I know there's like one annual type fairy shrimp, and then there's one that can breed all year round.
Yeah. Like I said, I wanted to do them because I did have brine shrimp. I had a colony of brine shrimp going for a bit, where they were breeding there, because brine shrimp can lay eggs that will hatch, in the water, if they're happy in their conditions. So I had them breeding. I was like feeding them and stuff, and then I killed the culture, and I've never been able to get a tank of brine shrimp going again. I don't know what I did right. but I've never been able to replicate it. It's also hard.
Damn.
It's hard to justify making a tank salty too, just for the brine shrimp colony. That's another reason I want the fairy shrimp to work out.
Yeah, the math.
Oh, I was showing this because we were talking about fungus on fish eggs earlier, because that was the skeptical video I was reacting to. But I've been using the isopods with rice fish eggs, and I didn't have footage of it here, but it'll be like a clump of eggs like this, and they'll go on and like they'll eat the fungus off of
So
everything.
nice.
Because they actually eat
Do you have the tank?
the roots of the mycelium. They like scrape them off.
Ooh.
Yeah,
What temp do you keep it at?
whatever the room is. So it's probably like,
Okay, just ambient.
yeah. But with the lid and the lights, like sometimes it's like 75. So I would say like 68 to 75.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. So
Yeah, no, I think just like if you're gonna go with the fairy shrimp, pretty much the same as brine shrimp nutritionally, except because it's freshwater crustacean, it still has the possibility of like carrying pathogens. I know like that's why some people choose brine shrimp is because there's like no chance of things crossing over. But same with Daphnia, so as
yeah.
long as you're careful, you should be fine.
Yeah, I have no idea. I think he said his friend collected them, so we'll see.
I think they should do fine with like Prazi Pro or dewormers.
Okay. I might do that. I might. Prazi Pro has been like my go-to for sure.
It works good.
It works well, and I think.
Or you can just wait for the second gen, like with some rice fish. We just like we get the
Yeah.
first gen out, and then like just raise the eggs and larvae up.
That's
so.
what I'm gonna do. Hopefully, with some isopods I collected recently. I'm gonna
Yeah,
get the
because sometimes you
babies.
just can't get rid of those mites or whatever, but the babies are just grab those, and you're good.
Yo, you said I was worried you were evolving into a fuckboy, bro.
I know. I saw the eyebrow, and I was like, oh no.
It's too late.
Jessica, just leave. Like what?
It's too late. Just cause I've just had a bad haircut, man. I can't evolve into what I already am, you know.
Rest in peace.
What's up, Andre? I'm assuming they eat green water or what? What do you think? Anna? Green water?
Oh yeah, no, of course.
Okay.
Definitely eat green water. I don't know like how
they look so-
tolerant
they look
are
so-
in terms of stress.
They look so big. Like, I feel like they could eat tiny little things. Like, I
No, yeah,
don't
they're
know.
definitely eating particles from the
Okay,
water.
okay. Like, they're
Like-
huge.
They pass it up with their little appendages. I don't know exactly what it's called. Swimmerets?
That's what I was calling them. I couldn't think of anything else. Do you see my the
Yeah.
rosy loaches?
Very cute. They look good in the green.
Yeah. I think so. It's them and the
Really loaches are
Ellisoma.
not bothering them?
What do you say?
Do you have the fairy shrimp in there?
No. No fairy shrimp in here.
Okay. I was like, oh wow, peaceful.
No. I think it could be that they honestly have exhibited some signs of being kind of fast. Like, they'll like randomly dart around. So they might have some anti-predatory instinct in them. But I don't think they'd last too long with the rosy loaches. Trying to see
Yeah.
if there's a tank you'd actually be able to see them in from the fucking laptop camera, but I'm working with low tech these days, man.
I know. It's like, this is really why you should not go herping like by yourself.
You know what, bro? I ain't got no one to go with me.
That's why you have like family members to coerce with coin.
Yeah. Oh wait, do you see that one? There's one.
But legitimately, like, be careful. That could have been very scary.
Yeah. Well, most of the
I'm glad
places,
you only lost your phone.
most of the places I plan on going, like, it's like you get out in the parking lot and go to the water. Like, this was just me, like, okay, here's a spring near me, I'm gonna follow the spring. Like, I was making my own little path. So, like, most of my future plans involve going somewhere more civilized, and not getting lost in quicksand and losing my phone. But
Maybe carry a hiking pole
I had nothing. It was a spur of the moment
or a
decision.
tripod, if that's like
I had nothing.
too
I had nothing. I was
unclear.
trying to carry stuff in a paper bag and it ripped, and I was dropping stuff everywhere. It was a disaster. I didn't have a bag, no backpack. Well, I guess I had kind of a little bag, but I mean, I have no water.
I'm worried for your safety, homie.
I had a light. I had my headlamp. It was daytime, so if I got
If you lose your camera too, that would really suck.
the worst thing that could have happened, you know, I'd die, whatever.
Yeah, the worst thing would be like, and he never returned. Jessica took him.
Bro, no one was even concerned. It was fine. Look at this is my only flex. All my Procatopus fry.
Ooh,
I'm very... Oh wait, you can see the fairy shrimp. You might think that they're fish, but they're not. That's how big they are.
That's true. Wow.
One of them, there is some fairy shrimp in this shot somewhere. It's that thing that's kind of like just standing there in the back. Look at this. This is huge, right?
I'm gonna have to try it.
That's what I'm saying. I just could never find them, like, live. I guess I'm gonna have to drive all the way over to Pennsylvania. Fishing friends, man. They better get some
Do they
more.
have a giant colony, or do they import?
No, I think someone is collecting them, like, locally.
Ooh.
Yeah. No, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, wild collected, maybe do like a round or two of collecting fry.
Dude, I've been sitting here live for 8... Bro, first of all, skeptical. We're talking about fish now. Okay? Come on. Second of all, I mean, did you communicate with KG Tropicals when we made 20 videos on them? Like, do you email everyone you talk about? I just started from the beginning, but can you, like, summarize why I'm dumb so I don't have to watch it all? I feel like you need practice doing research, so feel free to watch the summary. It basically, no, I will not summarize it. You can watch it if you're interested. We're in the fish discussion portion of the stream. If you want to talk about CPDs or any other fish you're into, feel free. What were you saying, Captain?
Oh, yeah, I was just saying, do probably precautions for wild caught fairy shrimp.
Oh, yeah. Well, honestly, I feel like a lot, like, after looking at the isopods in different places, like, bro, the water was clean, like, compared to where I was finding, like, some of the other places I've been before where there's, like, worms and stuff. Like, I feel like I'm getting a better sense of, like, okay, these are the creatures in kind of more sketchy water, and these are the creatures in cleaner water. And, like, where the isopods were, it was all, like, spring water, feeding into rivers, basically. Like, the water was clear, moam on the bottom. I really didn't see that many, like, worms or anything. And there were scuds. But, like, I feel like
My thing
it
that
wasn't
I'm
too
mainly worried about
sketchy.
is either like mites or like internal parasitic worms
So, okay, later,
that
buddy.
could then like get pooped out and then like get eaten and then reproduce in your tanks and stuff.
I mean, I'm ordering from Aquahana, so no, I'm joking. I'm joking. I was saying,
Okay, fair enough.
I feel like I buy enough fish from random places. Like, I'm already having to deworm stuff, so they'll probably will eventually get dewormed. I think that's like the one.
Okay.
That's the one thing, because like I agree that like over medicating stuff is bad and like you create resistant things and stuff like that. But I think deworming is like the one thing preemptively for fish that probably is a decent practice. You know, I think most fish have worms.
Definitely less harmful than antibiotics. Just proactively dosing antibiotics.
Yeah.
I guess it's safer to proactively dose wormer. It's not going to create a super worm.
Yep, exactly. It just kills them, so it's fine. I see. Okay, Sarah the Great with the popcorn emoji. Come on, bro. Come on. I'm behaving. I made it halfway through our march, and we're gonna go the rest of the march positivity. Okay. Yeah, no, exactly. And I think I said, I was like, a lot of the fish that I like come from places where the humans there deworm themselves regularly if they eat certain kinds of meat. So like, I feel like I could deworm my fish too, if it's good enough for humans. Why not? My friend in Ghana, he was like, yeah, I gave up this kind of meat because I was eating it, and the guy was like, oh yeah, make sure you take your dewormer in this regimen. He was like, wait, excuse me?
Man just put down the grilled skewer and just walked away.
Yeah, he was like, excuse me? Like, so it's like, yeah, I'm not eating any pork. Nope, no pork. Bonkers. I can't. I'm sorry. Nope, I'm not gonna be Bessie. It's just so funny. Like, I've been sitting here live for 8 hours. Like, live? What do you mean? You've been filming the egg. Why not communicate? I'm like, bro, you make videos complaining about other people. Did you communicate with them? Like, I'm sorry.
Like,
so
in fact, it just gave him more views. Because now he has more content to make.
I know. That's why I didn't want to do it, but I don't know if you saw it, but like, it was just so stupid that I couldn't resist. Like,
no, I haven't.
He basically said that, like, one, he said that the stuff on the fish eggs was not fungus, it was biofilm, which, you know, digest that.
Which is fungus.
just digest that for a second. And then the next thing he said was like that basically you shouldn't worry about it and that it doesn't hurt the eggs, it's fine. And the real reason I made the video is because he starts the video with like the Matrix, like the blue, you want to take the blue pill, the red pill, and then he's doing this whole like, the echo chamber would want you to believe that you need to be worried about fungus on your fish eggs. Some creators
worried about fungus on their fish eggs.
Oh, thank you, bro. I wish you were there because it took me a while to get to that. But I was like, bro, even the fish know you get rid of the fungus. But yeah, he kept saying.
I know. It's like some of those.
Keep going.
I think it's Apisto moms.
Yes.
That just repeatedly pick that little patch of wall or clay pot, and then like as soon as they see an egg is like getting fucked over, they're like, I know.
Or they literally clean the spot before they put the egg. Okay.
Or they'll like clean the eggs so much that the kids actually get beat up, and you have a lower hatch survival rate.
No, so
because they just kept moving them around, and they got stressed and died. Poor babies, but yeah.
Basically,
mom is trying to stay clean.
Basically, yeah, he said, don't worry about the fungus. And he kept saying, yeah, it wasn't a fungus. It was actually biofilm or bacteria or whatever the hell. And then there was a couple of great quotes. Like one, he said, no one was really even talking about fungus in the aquarium hobby until one guy made a bunch of videos about fungus. And I think he just likes nature a lot. He tried to make fun of the guy. Like, he probably would have made a video about squirrels too.
Nerd. Oh yeah, he's a nerd in the fish hobby. What a nerd.
I know. Like, maybe bro, like, you should just like Google anything before you go live. I just wish you'd just Google anything. It would save me so much frustration. Like, but since it was about fish breeding, and I actually care about breeding fish.
Has he bred fish before, like in this video that you're
He's breeding, yeah. He has some CPD eggs, and basically he has fungus ones, and then the good ones are right next to the fungus ones, and they still hatch. So he's like, see?
Double doggy dare him. How much does it long? Like, how long is the incubation for CPD eggs?
It's 2 to 5 days.
Okay, that's bullshit. Like, you can't. No.
Yeah.
Like 2 to 5 days. Sure, these fungus won't kill them, but have him try something harder, like,
I mean,
maybe kill your fish.
Listen, bro. The reason I went so hard is because like he tries to be like, yo, I'm breaking the mold. The big fish creators, they want you to believe fungus is bad. Like, bro, you can be different without being so wrong.
Like, yeah, fungus is bad because it sends in those little mycelium roots into the eggshell, breaks the permeable barrier, and then starts to feed on your developing little fry. Fungus bad.
Yes.
He comes off as like one of those early 2000s flat earthers that would like make 5-hour videos on why they believe the Earth is flat.
I feel like he's just I honestly feel like he's just trolling. Like that's what I choose to believe because like I don't want to get into like necessarily too much like personal attacks. I just feel like he's kind of a troll. Like his profile picture is like an emoji.
I can understand trollism, but like spreading misinformation to vulnerable people who are just trying their best with their pets.
That's why I made the video.
Appreciate.
Even though like it's not like either of us are
But
huge.
it deserves better.
Either of us are huge channels, so like it's not like his video is gonna be seen by like millions of people. But I guess on a small level it matters. Like a lot of people in my chat like also just basically will watch any fish person that's live, and he goes live a lot, so I felt like I should.
But look, okay, I fell for his trap too when I was like, which one is the better microworm culture stuff substrate? And then I sent it to you, and you were like, no.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
I was like, yeah, let's try cornbread.
Here's another fun quote from his video. He said, someone. So first of all, someone did correct him on the fact that biofilm does have fungus in it, but then he was like, well, actually, since my tanks are bare bottom tanks, it's more likely that it's a biofilm because my tanks are bare bottom, and unless you like get some dirt from outside and put it in your tank, like I doubt it'll be a fungus.
This man thinks lemon juice comes from cartons. You show him an actual lemon, and
bro,
it's like, hey, does lemon juice come from this? He'll say no, only from those plastic things.
Yeah, bro,
that's fake.
You can't get online and talk about these creators and the echo chain, like, and then you just are so confidently wrong
on your body.
You're just so confidently wrong about everything. So like, I just couldn't take it, bro. I couldn't take it. I legitimately got triggered, and I went live. I got out of bed. And went live. I was gonna go to sleep.
Got out of bed with his messed up eyebrow. Poor dude.
I know. It was so. I was like, I'm gonna call someone else an idiot in the title, and I got this fucking eyebrow. Bonkers. I'm
glad you're just not devolving into a Chad now. I don't have to worry that you're somehow gonna get a giant bass in your fish room.
I mean, I usually have lines in my hair, and like I've been thinking about doing the eyebrow thing, but
waves.
Huh? No, not waves, but I have other other aesthetics to me that could match what you're afraid of. You know what I mean? But you don't have to be so judgmental. That's what I'm saying.
No, I've got students who do that. Yeah.
Let me live, okay? And I got the eyebrow, and I'm wearing a tank top. Like, it's a wrap for me today. But at Bonkers, I did see you say that he's live.
Who's Justin's fish tanks? Where are we?
Kind of curious to see what he's up to. I believe he's just live streaming an egg, a CPD egg, and he's gonna live stream a hatching, which is a great idea. Very nice. I have nothing negative to say about that. But yeah. So according to him, fungus, in a bare bottom tank.
Big fungus.
No fungus, because he didn't put any substrate. Bro, the substrate listing is like, I almost like put my head through the screen. I was like, oh my god, no way he's about to credit his substrate list aquariums for this what is clearly a fungus.
I mean, like, fungus is in our tap water, it's in the air, it's on our hands, it's on all of our tools. It's on the egg when the fish poops it out. Like,
if you go back and watch, I think you'll be relatively satisfied with my performance, because you're saying a lot of the things that I did eventually get to. But this is a picture of what he was saying was a biofilm and not a fungus. I'm putting it on the screen and get your reaction to this. What do you guys think? Besides the fact we already established that biofilms or fungus?
Well, if it's not fungus and it's biofilm, then it's bacteria.
With fungus. But I guess what you're
That's
saying is
feeding
bacteria.
fungus.
Yeah, that's feeding fungus. So basically, he was like, "Look, I have these moldy eggs next to good eggs, and the eggs still hatch." And I basically went the same route you were saying, which is like, first of all, generalizing
eating
eggs. Generalizing eggs is bad. They're all have different tolerances, but yeah, CPD eggs hatch pretty quickly, so you might be able to get away with it more.
Not to mention, naturalistic parents have a protective film on their eggs. So it's like he's not even doing anything.
Yep. I didn't get to a fish one about that, but there was one about lizards where they mentioned how when they lay the eggs,
Albumin.
there's some antifungal applied. And I was like, why are all these animals so worried about fighting fungus on their eggs?
No, it's that biofilm.
No. So like, listen, I don't want people to think that I'm always gonna be like some expose negative channel, but like I'm like the real version of being skeptical. Like someone has to say something sometimes.
We'll be like skeptical with our research rabbit sources.
Yes,
If you can't bring peer-reviewed evidence to the table, what can you bring?
Yes.
Maybe fish.
And I did link some papers in the chat about fish eggs and fungus.
You don't have to be, a researcher to do fish stuff.
Nope. That's why I like doing this, because I can literally Google. I'm watching the thing. He's like, biofilm. I'm like, okay, let's make sure we're all on the same page. Let's look up the definition for biofilm. First one said like the fungus. I'm like, okay, let's find another source. I found a paper that defined biofilm with having the fungi as part of its microbial community, because apparently biofilm is a microbial community. I didn't necessarily know that. So
I did.
Yeah, well, you're listen, greenhouse boy. Listen. Some of us don't have an education like that. We just have. I'm just a
as we grow.
I'm just a guy with an eyebrow that's
one.
That's only 3/4 there. What do I know? And poor posture, my God. I'm leaning over this thing like it's a cauldron. I got shrimp posture. No. Oh my God, bro.
Does CPD have that larval stage where they stick to stuff?
Yeah, they do. They Black Planet Tank, he was noting that, like, how they're a lot less developed than like the rice fish or the killifish when they hatch, so they do stick to the wall for a bit before they even start free swimming. And I think in this video you actually see, like, I don't know if you see one hatch, but you do see like where its tail's sticking out of the egg, and it doesn't even have any eyes.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, where like a lot of the fish that I'm used to looking at the eggs for, by the time they're getting ready to hatch, like they definitely have eyes. You know what I mean? If the tail's sticking out, there's some eyes involved.
Speaking of losing eggs, this last batch did not turn out so well.
Damn.
I think we're having infertility issues. But I moved the older fry, so now I'm just gonna power feed the adults and we'll see.
You know, if those infertile eggs fungus, don't worry about it. Just leave them. What hatches, man.
I know, like I looked at the video and I was like, I have a basic jar full of just floaty, fungusy eggs. Because it's like I save it just in case maybe something is still developing in that cloud of fungus and might hatch out and I might be able to grab it.
I'm trying to tell
Who
you,
knows?
man.
It could be the next LeBron James of rice fish.
You need to start pinning those fungus eggs with the isopods, man. Now, it would take a good amount of them to handle the amount of eggs that you have, but if there is any that are savable, they might save them. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I need to figure out a system that like won't freak out the isopods, that gives them access to clean the eggs. Maybe Lowell's Fish Lab is the right guy to ask.
I would just do a tray with some leaf litter and put the eggs in. That's my vibe.
You don't have a problem with the leaves like harboring fungus and biofilm.
The isopods are there to eat.
And you don't feed the isopods. You just let them.
Bro, how many papers are at
The
the
fungus.
how many papers are at to send you about their natural diet before you leave me alone about
I
this?
believe they could starve.
They can't. That's what they eat, bro. They eat decaying leaves. That's what they eat.
Yeah, but will they run out of
What did they run out of biofilm?
They're not gonna, bro. Oh my gosh.
But like hypothetically, hear me out. What if they eat all of it before it's able to grow back?
Listen, you guys try. You guys try it. I've done it a lot, and I've read
Lost
all.
a colony of Malawi shrimp and a whole bunch of isopods.
Look,
The snails survived.
I don't know what you're doing in that tank. Look, I don't know what you're doing. Listen, I'll show you the tray that the isopods I caught are in.
Well, I would like that, thank you.
And also, again,
I think they just have like really, really mean, hungry mouth snails.
the first isopods that I shipped, like most of the ones that I shipped that I was breeding, were in like little lunch trays
No, those egg trays.
with leaves with eggs. And that's when I hatched on my Galaris.
We're still stuck on Skeptical's video.
Yeah. What the? Oh, I thought I had my stock footage. My tank stuff. I'm finally filming stuff.
No,
again.
I'm just looking at fungus.
Oopsies. All right, and Ada's come.
Ooh.
Ada's come to. What do you have to say? All right.
Oh, she's adorable. Look at that cat tree.
So
What a good girl.
you might actually see one of the isopods there. This is leaves.
You just have them in little shoe boxes, just
Yep.
hanging out.
And there's
No filtration, just shoebox.
no. There's a.
Okay, I might have to try that. That looks good.
Now, when I was actually like breeding them and doing the eggs, I did have air stones in there, but this is like some sediment, some leaves from where I found them. I do see a little weird worm in there, but you can see like the water's pretty clean. It's not any kind of tinged color, so the leaves, like all their tannins, have pretty much been spent.
Okay.
And yeah, there's some
Yeah, you have
scuds.
some like kind of leaves that don't break down too easily there. The
Yeah.
maple leaf.
Do you see that big isopod there? Why are you just chilling there? I can see it breathing. All the isopods I found that were gravid were on the edges, in the leaves, getting ready to hatch out, and there wasn't really that much else around. So, my
Did you have it under light?
oh, you're talking about my trays before?
Yeah.
Just room light. Whatever.
Oh, okay.
They didn't have it was next to the fish tanks. Oh look, I don't know. I can't really see what you guys can see, but do you see that little one poking out?
I see an itty bitty one, yeah.
Yeah. Man, they got the foot kind of more fuzzy look to them.
Oh, are those the ones you collected?
Yes.
Or
So
just.
what you said?
Oh, no, you answered it, sorry.
Oh yeah, no. I collected these, and then this is a different collection point. So I was looking for a specific species, and I didn't find it. And there was one last place that I was almost certain. I was like, they gotta be there, but Jessica gave me the look. She was like, do we have to? I was like,
Well, I'm glad that she was there so you didn't accidentally fall into another pit of quicksand. That would suck.
this is actually the first ones that I found. The other ones, it was annoying because I literally got to the location. The first rock I turned over, I found an isopod. I was so mad. I was like, bro, I literally hiked down
Sometimes
a
it
hill.
sucks to suck.
I lost my phone. The one sample I took, 0 isopods. I come here, I turn over one tiny little flat rock, and there's an isopod. Like,
How big was it?
about the size of the other one. So this one, this place, I found them in this piece of wood, and with some bigger scuds. There's a scud there, It is actually buried. So yay me. I have more freaking scuds.
Ooh, what was that? What just ran away?
That was
That's
probably
good.
probably the scud. So there's both locations
Smack
had
it. Smack it with a stew.
both locations I think had different species of scuds occurring in the same place. Because there's like big green ones and there's like small blue ones.
Hmm.
I feel like they were different, but
Don't tell Conrad. I think he has a project he's doing.
I'm pretty sure the green was probably from some algae.
It's being cold and having algae grow on them.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn over this leaf, but I have a feeling the isopods are in the damn wood. Oh my god.
Who would have thought
Yeah.
that the wood slaters would be in wood?
Also, like it was, I don't think I didn't collect as many isopods from here, but they were. Wait, there's one. Okay. So these ones are pretty cool because they're like they're fuzzy, and they have like their Indo and Europods are like red, like reddish,
Oh,
like very strange. And I couldn't.
I wonder if they came from like clay-rich water or like something rich in antitoxin
It was a river,
pigments.
so maybe. I don't know if you can tell, but in that little crevice of that tiny piece of wood is an ice
See one, yeah.
And do you see how its appendages are like all kind of reddish, or just
Fascinating.
yeah? And I don't think
So when are you getting a microscope? After the phone?
yeah.
Facebook Marketplace was very useful for getting one.
Yeah, I'll get some better. I feel like I don't. My camera. I feel like when I actually use it and take photos, I feel like my photos are all right. You can usually zoom.
No, you are correct. You have very good photos.
So you can usually zoom in enough that like we'll get what we need. I do need to get a microscope, but I also kind of like other people doing the microscope stuff, so like people understand that I'm not very smart.
That's all good.
Like, I just wanted to be clear, guys. I am a casual. I know it's hard to believe, but
I know.
I only pretend to read.
He
Now-
just looks at the titles of the research articles and makes inferences.
I look at the titles, I read the intro and the conclusion only. Yeah. The methods, couldn't care less. Back to my stock footage. That's what I want to do from when I'm just talking. I want to have like footage from the fish room and stuff. But I just thought that these guys look so funny in the bag. Anyways. So yeah, that's a little bit of the isopods, a little bit of sneak peek. You guys, I'm sure, will be helping me try and identify them. I think we have the best shot at the one we were just looking at because it looks so strange. And
Any bets, Quesadilla, the Lycerius?
what'd you say?
Any genus bets for the isopod?
So I'm getting distracted.
Oh, that's a pretty good close-up.
Cause
Those fishing bags.
yeah, this is from the swap I went to. The rainbow fish actually looked like pretty great. I felt like the deal was pretty good. It was these I think were 3 in a bag for 25. And they were good sized rainbow fish, and he did sex them if you asked. And he had the Kalitawa, which are a really popular rainbow fish right now, but he didn't have any females, so I didn't. I have a pair, but they're way smaller than this. This is them, but you can't really tell what they look like. I just thought that they look so silly. But see, you only do the rice fish really, so you're not even into fish like that. Too traditional.
I just don't have enough space.
Bro, you got like a whole outdoor system of ponds and rivers.
What tropical fish can live outside without like spending hundreds of dollars a month on a heater?
Rice fish.
Rice fish, exactly.
No. You could do Elisoma probably. At least shrimp. Maybe shrimp.
Fish, koi.
let me think about that. You could do some more native fish. So I'm seeing something weird with this. I don't always set up here, but the zebra car. You see, something's up with this. I can't tell if that's something wrong with his mouth or if that's just what color it is.
It might just be from fighting, also.
There is technically a pair in there, but I haven't seen them fighting too much. But I guess you're saying like it could be like a bruise.
Maybe, I don't know. I've got a rice fish who basically had like part of his face, his mouth, his lips ripped off.
Huh. But look, he's got the same color spot on the side of him.
Okay, maybe it's just mirrored then.
So maybe it's or some very rare fungus, because I've never seen that. But it looks like it's part of him. So maybe it's just changing. I don't know.
Maybe he's just coloring up or like getting more dominant. I don't know.
Maybe. Oh, there's the pair. So I guess we. Oh no, they have the spots too.
It looks good.
So they're both dying.
Fungus.
That's how I think. Like I'm always. I try to practice what I preach, but I'm very prone to depend. Oh, man, they look so good. I can't 100% tell. The person paired them for me. I think it is a pair, but honestly, they look so similar. I can't tell. But I'm excited for the Ivanacar Immaculata to grow out so I can kind of compare them a little bit. But this is the living room tank. That was my grandpa's tank. And I've kind of let it go a little bit. The Anacris is doing its thing. I didn't realize it could get this big. Like,
Yeah, that's gone hog wild.
yeah, the leaves have got big. But I've been letting it rock because I kind of like how it looks, but I need to trim it up some. This isn't a total catch-all tank. I kind of have a nice little school of the Praecox
You
in
could
here.
ask Schmoober to go trim that. That's his job. He makes things more dense
What do you
by
mean,
trimming
nuh-uh?
them.
You said that it was your job. I just realized I haven't checked
That's fair, but I don't think I'd be getting. Unless you want. Unless you're willing to pay me to trim those plants.
I mean, you pay for your own
Actually, I just
travel.
want to keep the trimmings.
You
Well,
can
actually,
take some with you.
I've been meaning to ask someone, and you know about plants, but so can you just trim like aquarium plants and get them to grow bushier? Like if I just keep trimming my Kambamba and
Yeah.
stuff, like so all I have to do is just put in effort.
Just hit the tips though, and it'll cause it to send out more nodes.
Come on,
and then
Schmoober.
root out.
Tell them that they're wrong.
But I've heard
Right,
Kabamba
so-
doesn't like hard water, but all my water is hard, so I'm kind of looking at my Kabamba like,
Yeah. I think all parameter information is gray area until proven otherwise. Like I would love to. One thing Corey from Aquarium Co-op says that I agree with. It would be really nice if someone would take the money and time to figure out how much salinity all the aquarium plants can take. I have a feeling
I mean,
that's
I'll
not
do
gonna
it.
happen. Oh, really? Okay. All right.
If I had the resources for it.
Okay.
don't.
Well.
just follow the
Yeah,
API dosing guide and you'll be
One,
fine.
two.
Let me get a GoFundMe going. Anyone want to donate 2 cents to Schmoober killing aquarium plants for? I don't. Is that for science or is that just for our sick pleasures?
No, you can just say you were doing a
fine.
salt dip to remove leeches.
Science. Oh, Skeptical
Also,
did. Wait. Skeptical came back and said, "I just watched the beginning. Maybe you should take a break watching my stuff, buddy. Seems like it's affecting your mental health a little. I'll keep doing me over here in my tank smiley face." Yeah, he doesn't seem very bothered. Guys, I think I look pretty silly on this one. He might have gotten me.
Yeah.
He kind of feels like the kid who always does that like last clap in the audience because he wants to have the last word, and it's like he'll just say anything to have the last word.
I mean, listen, bro.
A couple kids like that.
If you dish it out, you gotta be able to take it. I mean, judge from the last time he came in my chat and how we started this one. He seems extremely sensitive to criticism.
Respectful.
Well, yeah. Yeah, he seems very sensitive to criticism, but all he does is criticize people. Like, bro, how you gonna sit there and complain about people not researching their videos and then just
Throwing stone, glass houses quote.
yeah. So I mean, listen, bro cannot take constructive criticism. I mean, in his defense, the title is Skeptical Aquatics is an idiot, and in my defense, I did say allegedly. So it's up to you to see where that lands between the two.
Nobody seems to understand like the little defenses you put up. In my opinion, allegedly, I feel for myself.
I feel like
so, like he calls me slander.
I feel like if you look at my like ridiculous thumbnails, like terribly drawn, and even if you read my description for this live, like I feel like reasonable people understand the level of like serious negativity versus tongue-in-cheekness. Like my description is, can't tell if Emoji Man is trolling, but he may single-handedly have the worst track record of good information I've had the displeasure of being exposed to. I can't take it anymore. Beware, Emoji Man, please, he can't read. Like, I just feel like you already know this is kind of a semi-unserious, ranty thing you're coming into, so not totally constructive criticism, but I did provide sources, so
we appreciate sources.
Hey,
good research, Rabbit.
I told Skeptical the first time he came into my chat that we had to beef for content, so
you did.
It's not like I didn't warn him. I just had given up on that idea because you guys convinced me that I shouldn't give him any more attention, but bro, he's right. It did affect my mental health. I was triggered.
I know, and then people keep posting it, and I'm just like,
because they're trying to. It's just like when I was doing the thing, and people try to egg me on to like, you want to look at this? Like, give me your opinion on this hot take machine. I'm like, I'm trying to do March positivity.
Who could have thought an echo chamber would cause strong emotional reactions?
Bro, the isopod echo chamber. I could
very nice fairy train.
Wait, were you not seeing the footage earlier? Of the
no, I'm watching the B-roll behind your head right now.
Okay. Because I did play it earlier, but maybe I messed it up.
No, yeah, I commented on it. I came through then.
Hopefully tomorrow, I'm hoping to get a bunch of videos of like all the breeding stuff that I want to talk about. And then tomorrow, we can have like just a full fish stream, talk about breeding different fish and stuff. And maybe look up some new maybe fish research, because now that they got me on loaches, I'm thinking about trying to breed dwarf chain loaches. I don't know if you guys know anything about those. I don't.
I do not have loach experience.
I have some loach experience. I love my coolies.
You know anything about the dwarf chain loaches? I just know they're always on the list of like fish that eat snails that are small.
I'll be honest, that was the first time I've ever heard of such a fish, so...
Wow.
No.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll go over them. Maybe we'll do a little bit of a research session on them. Because I want to breed the rosy loaches, and that'll be my second loach. Skeptical can do him, and you can do you, Tanks. Yeah. But what Bonker said is basically why I made the videos. The problem is Skeptical is encouraging problematic aquarium habits for content and tricking people into killing their fish and inverts. Yeah. This was the first video he made that was like clear enough cut that I could just very easily, with little effort and like one Google search,
respond to it.
Yeah, just eviscerate the entire video without even watching it, because his description was long enough. It laid out the whole premise. Bad information is unfortunate, but we can't do much about it other than call it out. Yeah, so, if I come across any other video too, not just...
Yeah. Skeptical
is honestly too small of a channel for me to really be beefing with. What I need to do is find a big channel to beef with for the clout. Like, that's what I really... Listen, again, I've observed that the fish YouTube community, very thin-skinned. So, I mean, it's prime pickings as far as criticizing people for views. If I had a legitimate problem with something, but I honestly don't watch enough fish tube to come across that. I probably should go searching for someone to beef with. Now he's exactly the right size. Oh, pause. Yo, he's the boyfriend size channel. Boyfriend channel. Perfect size. You can start beef, Bob. Oh my gosh. Bob
All
was.
right, I'll see you later, Nick. I gotta go feed the dog, but
All right.
Oh boy.
Thanks for
have a
stopping
great night,
by.
you guys.
Have a good night.
You
Have a
too,
good
dude.
night. Yeah. Honestly, I need to go move fish, pick eggs, go to sleep, work on my mental health. You know, Skeptical did make a good point. You know, maybe I gotta look in the mirror a bit. Oh, Skeptical Aquatics back in the chat again. I thought you were doing you, man. What Skeptical does is he talks about what's happening and even tells people not to do what he does. And so, I mean, that would be a good in theory. Everything you said was just said was so laughably false. I mean, you're literally in the video telling people not to worry about certain things and telling people stuff that you're portraying as fact that is in fact fiction. Look at me, I'm doing gimmicks.
Bruh.
I like the in my tanks thing. In fact, you don't have too many tanks though. Kind of like empty glass boxes of mold. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Listen, man. The CPD Fry Depression Mold Pit Fishbowl. That's not a tank. Disqualified.
No.
We need 4 walls. Okay. I'm a traditionalist. Family values. I have a feeling you like family values, man. I have a feeling. I mean, you have a family, actually. Which I don't, so honestly, I guess you're winning. Well, I mean, I have a family, but I don't have kids of my own, so I'm giving you credit for that. You've done what I couldn't. You've bred CPDs, and you've also had your own kids. And I only have fish, so again, the mental health thing, you might have a point. You might have a point. No, the plants aren't dying. Don't say it. Well, listen, we don't need to. I shouldn't have said anything about the. Everyone has their own way to keep tanks and what they prefer. I have plenty of hideous tanks. I am no aquascaper, and I have really nowhere to talk on that. Well, I mean, I have cocoa coir as substrate in some tanks, and it basically starts looking pretty moldy after a while, so. Actually, this is my longest running cocoa coir substrate tank. It doesn't actually look that bad, but you can see the thick layer of mold there with all sorts of things growing in it, I'm sure. That is fine for killifish. Well, I haven't had that many killifish in that tank, actually. I'm kind of, this has been like a grow out tank, so I grew out the Brachytopus in here before I put a bunch of them in my other thing. Then I'm growing out the Ivanocara vermaculata. I have this species of lampi, but I don't have a female for them. I got them at an auction. And then those are some rainbow fish. And some chili raspberries are in there too, actually. And a pair of half-beaks. So, kind of a grow it tank. Also a lot of silicone messily places because I decided to cut a lid to the size of the tank on top of the tank, but like I cut through it and basically made a line through my tank. So now it was leaking every time I filled it up all the way. Yeah. Like I said, probably not the best person to make a video with the title calling someone else an idiot. As we've seen in the stream, I don't make good choices. All right, Schmoober. Any last words?
Yeah. Fellas, if you plan to keep white clawed minnows or shrimp, do not do so because they will eat your shrimp.
Really? The white cloud minnows ate your
Yep.
shrimp?
Yep.
Man. I guess I'm gonna have to add to that data sample next time I get white cloud minnows. That's kind of crazy. I feel like they have small mouths.
Yeah.
What, did it just like dive bomb them repeatedly or something?
If they manage to like find like a newly molted one, they will chew on it.
Sheesh.
And I have a friend on Reddit who tried that, and once they get a taste for shrimp, they don't stop.
That, you know what? I have heard that like some fish, like you can keep them with shrimp, but if they ever taste a shrimp, it's like over, basically, for the shrimp.
Yeah.
All right, well, that is the public service announcement from Schmoober. Really appreciate everyone stopping by. Poodoo, Skeptical, Bob, Bonkers, you're going bonkers in the chat. Andre, Sarah the Great, yeah, ruffled some feathers, I guess. Feather Films, all the exciting loach information for me to look into. I didn't realize that rosy loaches have been described because everywhere listed just the like SP without the specific name afterwards. Tempered Tanks, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, where's Jeff Kane at, bro? You weren't trolling me today. Well, I called you out, so if you actually watch this, I'll know. You're a real piece of work, man. Steve had a question about blueberry snails. He said, I'm just reading this for Captain, just in case you know. Has anyone seen those orange river snails? Are they that different from the blueberry snails? I didn't necessarily know. I think they're kind of similar, but if anyone knows, please comment or put it in the chat now, and I'll read it in a second. A couple of fish. Thanks for stopping by. See Jesse. Salient. Always dropping the gems, man. Even though you had to redo yourself a few times. Jody, thanks for stopping by. Hope you are sleeping well. And Blatt, of course, Aaron. Shout outs to you. You're the one that triggered me enough to make this video. And Brandon Lightcap, thanks for stopping by. It was a good stream. I tried to keep the skeptical thing pretty short, so if you missed it, feel free to go back. Let me know if I was valid, if I went too crazy. Leave a comment. Feel free to correct me or critique me for my rage baiting ways. But the fish talk has been very nice, very refreshing. It's always good hanging out with the people in our tanks community. And in our tanks is something totally separate from in my tank. So some people always ask, like, the Discord. I haven't really known how to go about it because, like, it's not really connected to the channel besides the fact that I'm in that Discord and I do this channel. It's kind of like a Discord of, like, breeders and hobbyists and freaks, honestly. Freaks. Just total freaks. So, it's not really up to me to add people in there. Even though I made the server. It's like a community decision thing. So I need to make it in my tanks Discord is basically what I'm trying to say. So hope you guys all have a good night. Schmoober, thanks for stopping by. Well, wait. FutuBird says orange snails are the same species but a different collection point. They seem to have larger orange spots and their shell is pale orange rather than mahogany. All right. Good to know. With that being said, good night to you all, and stay skeptical, but you know, actually be skeptical and double check the information you're consuming. All right, have a good night. Take it easy, and Google.